If you're trying to make me feel better about this scenario, give it up.
We got robbery, assault, arrest, resisting arrest.
We got a collection agent for the mob. 2 of these guys have done serious time.
Look, they're the best at what they do.
So am I. And I'm not so optimistic. And here we are, a bunch of retards I wouldn't trust with a potato gun.
Might be the What's up, everybody?
Great choice of song. Great choice of song.
Yeah, you can't get wrong with Motley Crue, man.
We made it.
It's fucking Friday.
Woo. So, just to show a different age, Johnny's drinking Jaeger. I'm drinking light beer. So,
It's all good, man.
I'm drinking water. So
Stay hydrated.
yeah, stay hydrated. Keep the kids
hydration is important.
There you go.
So,
But yeah, we figured to have Johnny back, and he has done the last 5, and we haven't done the last 5, so we're doing the last 5.
yeah,
It's just that
yeah.
simple. It's been a while.
it has been a while.
Alan's was watching a bunch of trash and some like homoerotic fantasy movies, I think, from the last time I talked to him.
Let me go to stop you right there. Let me go and talk about this fucking movie before we even get started. All right, first off, it's got the fucking legend Paul Newman in it. Basically, the premise of this movie, he is a construction worker that knocks down buildings. Okay, his son is
Wait a minute, hold on a second. He's a construction worker. You never heard of the Village People?
Uh-oh.
Saying, I
His
mean,
wife's been dead for a couple of years. His son's trying to get him back in the fucking saddle. Buys him a prostitute. There ain't nothing but beer drinking and fucking in this movie. So,
you're a female prostitute.
a female prostitute.
And
This movie's actually really good. Like I said, it came out like 84, 85. I remember watching it as a kid. I don't give a fuck. I stand behind the movie. I enjoyed it. It's staying in the collection. I ain't got no shame.
Maybe it's a good movie. I'm just saying from the
It is
trailer
good.
I watched, it seemed
But
like a
whatever
different
reason, this
story.
cover looks like one of those old movies in a video store that's got like the faded cover. I don't know if it's or not, but it's real faded. It's really, really
he's
shitty.
wearing like a pastel shirt. He looks like an elder gay trying to turn the younger gay out. That's what it looks like to
Yeah.
me.
Watch
I
the
mean,
movie.
it's my
Watch
eyes.
the movie.
you
You're
know.
talking at your ass. Watch the movie.
Damn.
Apparently, it's not that. I mean,
It's not that at all.
I wish I could take that video down. I mean, there's I have no
I'm
control.
sure
over
there's money for that video down if you want to.
no control over that. It's up. People have seen it. They can't unsee it.
Yeah, I have no shame. It's staying in the collection for spite.
I'm glad. I'm glad it worked out for you. Yeah, that's basically it. We'll catch up with the chat and we'll get going. We'll have Alan go first and go around. And did anybody get their pre-orders canceled from Arrow? Like
No.
me, Tony, and a bunch of other people did.
Nope.
Yeah, so I got the email back from Arrow. They basically said that it was a glitch in their system and just reorder everything that you want and it will still come.
Well, that's
So,
good news.
yeah.
So,
But it was pretty quick. So I don't know. By midday, we had an email saying, "Hey, it was a glitch. We can't repurchase for you, but just go ahead and repurchase. We're sorry, no discount or whatever."
I was thinking that happened to me through Arrow, but I think when that happened to me, it was through Zavi back in the day.
Yeah.
I had like day one pre-orders from Zavi, and they just said, "Fuck it, cancel it for no reason."
Yep.
So
That'd be typical Zavi too, man. Like you just be
Well-
scared to order any fucking thing from them.
I was talking to Tony about it, and he's like, it's Zavi again. Well, Zavi now owned, Arrow are now owned by the same parent group. So I thought, shit. And it's like, it was the basket case 4K with the new artwork or whatever. It's like one of the few things I actually wanted to pre-order. And of course it gets canceled, but
Do you know of any other items that had the same effect as today?
several.
As the
Jace had several things get canceled. He had to go back to Tony too. So it was several items. The only thing I had pre-ordered was that basket case thing. So that's the only
Or if
thing
it was
I
just
knew.
because basket case was in their cart with the rest of other stuff? Or
No, it was all the pre-orders got canceled from what I understand.
what a
and-
glitch business
yeah.
wise, right? Like
Yeah, you
pre-orders
gotta
locked.
imagine how many people are really going to go back and order now.
That's what I'm thinking.
So it costs them a lot, I'm sure, but
You know,
all the
that's
site
all the-
exclusive pre-orders
Right.
got wiped away for some reason.
yeah, somebody fucked up.
Yeah, man. Thank God that shit didn't happen during our fucking sale while we was like spending $400 with them bitches. Ugh.
All right, let's catch up with the chat and get going here. Ragnar's here.
What's up, Ragnar?
What's up, man?
Magic Hands, what's going on? Ken Carlson, Killer Clowns 4K coming from Scream Factory. Could be just a placeholder till Arrow comes out. If Scream Factory's doing the US, it wouldn't shock me if somebody's doing a 4 in 4K.
If it is Arrow, is it really going to surprise you if Arrow uses Scream Factory scan or vice versa?
It's happened before many times.
Yeah.
Exactly. Carry 4K. Well, there's numerous back there.
Well, who knows who's did the scan this time? Maybe it's Scream Factory goes first because remember Scream Factory had Scream Factory and Arrow had the deal with the Child's Play set. So,
which is MGM, by the way, same affiliate.
Yeah.
No.
Holland, what's going on?
What's up, Alan?
Wrangler, what's going on? Steve, what's up?
What's going on, Steve?
Trini, the Scourge of the Community. What's
Steve
going
showed
on?
me the trailer for The Strangers Part 3. Man, that trailer was badass.
Yeah, the part 1 of the new trilogy, I guess it is. It's a total, which you never see the killer's face, so I'm sure that's no problem.
I think he said it's coming out May 17th.
Yeah.
2 days for my birthday, so we'll be down to the convention then. But we'll be watching it when we get back.
What was the second one? Like Pray for Night or something like that?
Pray at Night. Strangers
Pray
at Night.
That's fucking great. I was about to ask Alan because we was just I know like him with the whole thing with Giallos with like especially cinematography for like Argento. What'd you think about the cinematography for Strangers 2? Because the pool scene was
the colors.
I mean, that was a flat back, 100%.
Yeah.
Did you finally see
I've seen
Strangers?
a lot of other movies too where they kind of do homage to that stuff. You know? And I like I said, I can appreciate it. Like they just don't know my thing, whatever. But I can see why people dig it, man. I mean, like I said, I'm sure back in the day it was badass. You know,
my curiosity is basically I should have just asked, like, whenever you saw the pool scene coming up, did you just go, "Oh, it's blue"?
No, I didn't. So probably because the killer won't wearing black gloves. All you seen was his hands for half the movie.
Allie, what's going on?
Don't get me shitting on those movies again. What's up, Allie?
Well, in those Argento movies, it's Argento. That's Argento's hands in the gloves.
Yeah.
So he has to hold, do that, or he believes there's nobody does it better than him.
Was there like multiple actresses too that also said that since they had to do so many retakes of those scenes where he would actually purposely be agitated, so he'd be very rough with his hands just to get a realistic response from his female actress?
It's Italy. It's Italy.
Nothing would surprise me in the Italian movies.
And let's keep in mind, this fucking little dickhead's like what, 95 pounds, soaking wet, probably has like the most bitch-like hands ever.
Yeah. He puts Hulk hands on and then puts the gloves on and then goes to town on these.
You gotta figure it out, man.
It wouldn't shock me if they beat the shit out of them right before it starts. They get a couple phone books out and beat these broads and get them all flustered and then throw them in with Argento. What's going on, Allie?
The ballot. Kickstart my heart. Yeah.
Jimbo, what's going on, man?
What, bud?
What's up, man?
Everybody's saying, what's up? Chubbs, what's going on, man?
What's up, Chubbs?
Yeah. I wonder how all that Star Wars stuff got in there.
It's appreciated.
Yeah, everybody's saying, what's up to Johnny coming back?
Yeah, man. Break
Thank
the
you,
side
Alec.
of being back.
And I will say this. Thank you guys for having me back once again. Look forward to it, man. This is great, man. Having a blast.
Absolutely.
We were just going to
gives me a perfect excuse instead of coming home just drinking, watching TV. I can just go here and bullshit with you guys and drink. So,
There you go.
got an excuse to drink.
It's like you're at the bar.
That's it, man. Like I said, man, 2024, I'm fucking staying obliterated, man. I'll sober up in 2025, man. We're celebrating this year. 2023.
It's a leap
gonna be
year.
a great year.
It's a leap year.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
You guys seen the VHS 85? The new VHS?
I have not. I just ordered that triple pack. Is VHS 85 on there?
It's in there, yeah.
Okay. Well, I got it coming then.
It's 94, 99, and 85. I thought it was good.
Notification today.
I thought it was kind of one of the lower end ones, but it's not near as bad as Viral or anything like that. But there's some good
But you
stuff.
still got a favorite segment in that, right? Because you did the during one of the top fives, you actually did like the found footage one. You put like VHS, like fucking all three of them, like back to back to back.
I
Right?
put all 5 segments were VHS, but I didn't have 85. There's now I think 5 VHS movies.
Okay.
5 or 6. But none of the 85 was in. There's a good one with like a sniper, I think, on a lake that was pretty good. It's an interesting one. It's not bad.
I wish that still would have been the whole set. Why
Yeah.
did you do 3 of them? It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
The thing is, they'll probably be 10, 15 of them
Yeah.
by the time they're
I
done.
don't have those 3 in my collection. That's why I grabbed it.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
94 is probably my favorite.
I think I only have the first one in my collection, I think.
Talking about
Shadow
Alan
Raymond?
Cocaine Bear shirt.
Yep.
Trini.
What's up, Trina?
Is that? I mean, listen. I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit I was wrong. That's what I took from it. That cover.
Hey, you ever been told don't judge a book by its cover?
Well, I just did.
And once you see the movie, you'll be like, I get it now.
Yeah.
So,
I prefer not to see it and just kind of have my thing. My
it's
image
more
of
fun
it.
that way, right?
It's more fun. Yeah. See the video I made on my channel about the movie.
Yeah, everybody goes through
Great
that.
video.
And I believe it's called "Let Me Show You the Ways of the Street" or "Let Me Teach You the Ways of the Street." That's
And this
got
motherfucker
to be
sent
the
me the
best thing
link.
I've ever done.
Send me the link to Meg Tilly's. Meg Tilly's got a channel. Meg Tilly's got a fucking channel where she sits there and drinks tea.
Yeah.
And I went through to see if she had one where she talked about Psycho. And there is one where she talks about memories of Psycho 2. And I'm just waiting, just listening, just waiting for her to say something. And she gets basically she's reading questions. And somebody asked her about her experience on Psycho 2. And we know that you had a bad experience with Norman Bates or Anthony Perkins. And she goes into that and she says, well, when she mentioned Anthony Perkins, well, I don't want to talk about that. And she moved right on past it. And I went, click. I turned it off.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I could hear her talk for about 5 minutes, dude. And she seemed nice in the video. I mean, she's sitting there drinking tea. She was like a nice old lady. I'm sure she's a nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move on.
This is conflicting information from what you said just the other day or in
You were
previous
way
streams about it.
conflicting.
I'm just trying to be nice. It's Friday night. I'm drinking beer. I'm just trying to be chill. I'm not going to get on a rant tonight.
She's a whore.
Didn't he say something about pissing on her gums if they were on fire or
Yeah.
something like that?
That don't mean she's a nice person.
That's also a pretty good video. I believe it was. That's just my opinion with Pop's Movie Dungeon. That should be a whole series.
That was pretty funny.
That's just my opinion. That makes it okay. Everything you just said, but pissing this woman's face, that's all okay now because you
That's
said
kind of
that.
like saying, bless your heart. Bless their heart.
Bless
You
your
say
heart.
whatever you want to say about somebody as long as you say bless their heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
This video should come with a complimentary bottle of blood pressure medication.
Well, it was me and Johnny just having, and if you watch the video, Johnny starts talking about it, and then as he's talking, it cuts over to me because I realize what Johnny's doing. Like we both know Alan really well. I know Johnny's just going to bring up Meg Tilly, and I know it's coming. I know he's going to explode the minute he hears her name, and he couldn't even wait to hear her name. He just goes, "She's a dirty fucking mud." I don't even know what you said. It was hilarious.
Yeah. She's
But
not my favorite, but like I said, I'm sure she's a nice person.
It's that me and Johnny were so amped up, and Alan's just very matter of factly saying, "You can't get chicken salad on chicken shit. She's a dirty mud whore."
Oh,
I would
he
piss
just
on her
fell apart
gums.
so easily too. It
We're
was
on
just
fire.
fucking just throw the ball up, bam.
You ever read some of her quotes about Psycho 2? I think you'll agree. So,
16 featurette. What's going on?
what's going on?
Brad's caught up on this movie. Why so interested? Yeah, that cover. I can't get that out of my head. How homoerotic that cover seemed. Ragnar pre-orders. Is that a different Ragnar? Pre-orders are nice. They're usually the most expensive way to purchase. Yeah, well, it was the pre-orders. Yes, it's site exclusive pre-orders.
Yeah.
Literally couldn't get them anywhere else. They, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't generally pre-order, but this thing, obviously, they got my money. Hagen, what's going on?
What's up, Hagen?
What's up, man?
Trini Brad calling me names doesn't help. They'll hate me more. They don't even watch. They don't watch this stuff. These videos are about movies. Why would they watch these? Now, if we had videos about growing your YouTube channel or whatever, trying to make money on YouTube, yeah, they'd watch these.
I feel lost for some reason, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Films at Home's got a video out now about Netflix movies. So he's definitely changing around.
Going full cuck. I see. It's nice. Cinema Jimbo. My last 5 were Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, 3, and Wages of Fear. Or I don't know what Wages of Fear
I haven't
is.
seen Wages of Fear.
Oh, the new Invasion of Body Snatchers 4K too.
Nice.
If you're still in the chat, who did the scan for the new Invasion of Body Snatchers? Is it different from the Kino scan?
I have both of them. I have to look and see. Let you know. I think they're the same, but don't quote me on that. I think I heard when they first came out, they were the same scan. But I may, as far as features, I'm not sure. I think they have maybe different features. I'll pull them down and take a look at them.
Quick question. Is there any release so far that we know of that Arrow has put out as a 4K that they have actually borrowed the scan from Kino for?
I don't know.
From Kino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before this Invasion of the Body Snatchers, there one that I missed somewhere because I didn't even know that those were two existed in trading shit.
Well, I don't know that they exist in trading shit, but Kino had the 4K of Invasion of Body Snatchers first. So I would just assume that they might have borrowed their scan for UK release.
They got the US rights, and they had the UK rights. And a lot of times they just flip them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and who better to borrow from than Kino?
Right.
If you can. They'll let you. Sean, what's going on?
Hold on, Sean.
Lon Wrangler's talking about the BHS 94. Yeah, I liked all the segments on it. And it really does look like a tape, If you watch it, it looks like an old tape they converted over.
I did go into my Walmart, and I don't go to Walmart very much, but I want to see what the movie section looked like. And they had the wall of steelbooks. They probably had 30, 35 steelbooks. They still had
it's a nice little display.
It is. They still had the Saw, the Firefly trilogies. They still had a lot of the old ones. I say old ones, the first ones they kind of came out with. But most of the ones that they had, there was a couple that I almost grabbed, but I already had most of the ones I wanted. But yeah, they had quite a bit. So check your Walmarts. Yeah, there lately. My movie section of my Walmart here was a lot bigger than I say a lot bigger, but it was bigger.
It's improving. They're putting up.
You can tell that they're putting a little more effort into it.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that gets better and better. So we'll see.
Johnny's your had it, didn't it? Yours did.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. If there would have been one more bonus feature on that Bone Tomahawk Steelbook release as compared to that studio release we got, I'd have fucking bought that thing. But I'm sitting there like $30, and I'm like, I'm buying packaging.
If it was 4K, even if it was 4K,
exactly.
It should have been a
4K.
Something else.
It should have been. Amen to that. But yeah, I was even at that, I was like, okay, if it's Blu-ray, let me look on the back. If there's like a new interview, a new making of featurette, whatever, it's worth the price. And there just wasn't. It was the same exact. It was just a duplicate same Blu-ray, just stuffed inside the Steelbook.
They pull the fucking disc out and throw it in a new package.
That's all it is.
It's sell old inventory.
But you know what? If you don't have that movie yet, that'd be a great piece to have on your collection. Because as soon as anybody gets that and actually watches it, if they never have seen it before, it's worth $30, and you're going to keep it forever. That's one you're not going to hawk.
Yeah.
So,
no argument there. It's a winner, and he's coming back. Zoller's coming back with some new movies. Nice. He sat out for COVID. I don't know if I've told you about this. I think I did, Johnny. We talked about it, but he sat out for COVID. He had issues with that and the production costs and everything that went up with COVID. He shoots $5 million movies. He can't be handing a third of the budget over for COVID preparedness and make the fucking movie. So he just waited and continued to write books and all the other shit that he does. So, but he's got some interviews out. If you guys are interested in what Zoller's been doing, he's got some interviews out. He's done some podcasts and whatnot. And it's like talking to Johnny right now. His backdrop is like the same. It's just wall to wall movies and books and shit like that. So he's like just been homebound in Staten Island this whole time writing books and shit, screenplay. So gonna be a lot more from Zoller coming. Thank God.
Kudos to him, man. Let's see him.
Yeah. Saying hey, Mikey, what's going on?
What's up, Mikey?
up there in the north there. Okay. Ben, what's going on? Make us a chill for a big thing. Yeah. I knew when I sent that to Alan that I sent Alan the link to Meg Tilly's YouTube channel. I knew one, he was going to be pissed off, and then two, he was going to dig right through it just to hear her talk more shit about Psycho 2, regardless.
Well, first thing I did is I went through all her videos. She's got a bunch of videos, a bunch of subscribers too, and went through. And I found one that the only one that she mentioned Psycho 2, at least in the title of the thumbnail. But yeah, she just talked about the set and how they filmed different locations. Nothing we didn't already know. So,
all right, everybody's saying what's up.
I guess she's a fucking author. She has like 5 books on the table beside her that she wrote. So, I guess
I think she married Rich and quit acting. I thought that's what I heard.
Quit acting because she can't fucking act. That's why she quit acting. So.
It doesn't take much. He can't help it. It's like a tick. Every time Meg Tilly comes out, his eyes roll over black, and it just starts coming out.
You know, I mean, I don't like her sister either, but her sister can act fucking circles around her ass.
Yeah.
You know, at least her sister's got personality. You know,
and some big old titties too.
And big old titties. But at least she's got personality. I can't stand her voice, but at least she does have personality. So
she also
married Rich.
She also married Rich. She married a billionaire. Send him Jimbo. The scans appear identical. I just wanted to get the arrows chunky set. Yeah. The for Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Such a great movie. Such a classic.
Kano 88.
What's going on?
All right, we're ready to get to Alan's first one here.
Rock and roll.
All right, let's get this thing started here. I'm gonna start off with a banger here. This is probably the best one. This is the best one I watched out of this bunch. This is the first time watched. Suspect Zero. Sorry. Man, what a good fucking movie. Let's just start off with that. Came out 2004, directed by E.L.S. Who the fuck? Mariga or some shit. The only thing he really had done other than this is Marilyn Manson videos and dancing videos. A couple shorts, and I think this is maybe 1 or 2 other movies. It was written by Zach Penn. He wrote Ed Norton's Hulk movie, The Avengers, The Last Action Hero, a couple X-Men movies. So he's got a pretty good resume. Then you have another guy, Zach Penn. He did The Hunger Games, Captain Phillips, Volcano. So, a lot of talent behind the writing team. Tom Cruise is an uncredited producer in this. He wanted his name removed for whatever reason, but he's listed on IMDb as an uncredited producer, whatever reason. The main star of this is Aaron Eckhart, which I'm a fan of his. The only thing I can say, he did a really good job with this movie. I will say that, but I don't know if he's really a leading man kind of guy. Aaron Eckhart is more of kind of a co-star. He's really good in that role. He did a pretty good job of this as a leading man, but there were some other people that was gonna do this role back in the day, because this film kind of floated around Hollywood for about 7 years before it finally got made. Sylvester Stallone, Tom Cruise, Ben Affleck were all kind of interested in doing this role back in the day, but they kept getting shelved, and they got busy doing other things, that kind of thing. So, like I said, Aaron Eckhart, I'm a fan of his. He did a good job with this. You got Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley steals the show.
Yeah.
I don't want. Brad, you Johnny seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I haven't seen it, man.
Okay. I don't want to spoil anything, but Ben Kingsley, I don't think this is really spoiling anything. But the basic premise of the movie is Ben Kingsley has got a special gift where he can see things. They call it.
He's like an empath or something.
It's called remote viewing, is what they call it.
Yeah.
The military stole it from the Soviets. The Bureau stole it from the military. Called it Project Icarus. They had like 5 or 6 people that were really good at this remote viewing, and they would put these guys like in a trance so they could draw shit, and they could draw shit that hadn't happened yet, or stuff that already had bad stuff that already happened. So basically, the premise of the movie is you got Ben Kingsley is going around death wishing serial killers. He's going around killing serial killers. That's the whole plot of the movie. I'll say the way I described it here was it was like what did I say? It's kind of like Silence of the Lambs and Death Wish had a baby. The best way to describe it. And like I said, from start to finish, it had me. Ben Kingsley fucking kills it in this movie. I don't want to ruin anything, but the greatest scene in this movie, just pay attention to the scene. There's a scene where this girl's getting attacked in a truck, getting raped in a truck, and you see like a shadow of the silhouette of Ben Kingsley standing outside the glass with the window there. He busts in and snatches this motherfucker out and beats his ass. And it's funny to me that Ben Kingsley snatches somebody out of a truck and then beats their ass because he's just a little old guy.
Yeah.
But like I say, he kills it in this fucking role, man. I'm a huge fan of this fucking movie. This will never leave my collection. This is a high recommend. I can't believe I'd already seen this. So yeah, I was a big fan of it. So y'all, if you haven't seen this yet, please check it out. It's really good. Ben Kingsley. I've always been a fan of his. I'm never a super fan, but this movie here raised him up on the list for me. So it was a really good one.
That's a Kino 4K, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brand new
Fuck
Kino
yeah.
4K. It was like 17 in the last Kino sale.
It also has Carrie Ann Moss, whatever, for The Matrix. This is the first movie she made after The Matrix. And she did a really good job in it.
You ever see The House of Sand and Fog with Ben Kingsley?
I have not. I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
It's kind of like that movie Crash, where like people keep, interacting and whatnot. It's kind of like that. But Ben Kingsley is really good, and he plays this like ex-Iraqi general that immigrates, and he comes from wealth over there, but his money ain't worth shit over here, and he kind of just has to try and make it. And as like an older guy, he's like working 4 jobs. It's an interesting movie.
There's another movie he's in I've never seen, but I've heard about it. It's called Sexy Beast.
Sexy Beast, yeah, that's like.
I've heard that was pretty good. I've never seen it. They're doing a TV show on based on the movie now, I think.
Yeah,
but I need to check that out. Yeah, good movie, man. Check it out, man. It's really good.
You sold me on that shit, man. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna say if it's like Silence of the Lambs and Death Wish Had a Baby. I'm just like, bullshit.
Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it, man. It's a very interesting movie. Really interesting. It also has the guy. I wrote his name down here. Harry Lennox, and Brad, I know you know this guy is whatever. He was the general in Batman vs Superman. He's also the guy that would have been the fucking Martian Manhunter. They wouldn't have killed off the goddamn universe. But he plays like the FBI boss or whatever you want to call it. And he does a really good job.
I like the way the killer. It's a good MO for the killer, the way it's all set up and everything. But yeah, it's kind of one I think a lot of people missed for some reason. Maybe
I never heard of it. When I seen that Kino was putting it out, man, I know you were excited about it, but I was like, damn, what is that?
Yeah.
What year was that film?
I'm glad I got it.
Released.
90s, mid 90s, I think.
2000. I wrote it down here. 2004.
2004.
2004. Okay.
Felt like mid 90s, I guess. He was fucking super old in that.
Yeah. Like I said, watching them pull somebody out of a window, and it's not a small guy, but that's such a fucking. Pay attention to that shot, man. When it shows like the moonlight behind him and his silhouette in the glass, the side of the truck window, yeah, it's a cool shot, man. Very well done movie.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing too where you're like, you're not sure what may be happening or who's involved, who's not involved, or is this bullshit, or it's very interesting.
Yeah.
$17.99 probably the next Kino sale. Check it out.
Fuck yeah. That's a bald ass. All right. Before I start this, I would love to bring like 5 to the table right here. That's just going to be fucking like just some really great ones, but to keep it honest, this is the last 5 I've watched. Unfortunately, I've had a busy fucking week and I've been watching a lot of serial killer documentaries. So some of the shit I watched last week, but I might get some brownie points for this. So last weekend, I'm going to sit down and I'm trying to pop open the new Arrow release of Carlito's Way. And I'm sitting there talking about movies with my wife, and I bring up the movie Heat, and she's like, I've never seen that movie. So I was like, we're changing that shit right now. So this is one of the last movies I did watch. It's probably my 30th time watching this movie. But I adore this fucking movie. I love the hell out of it. I think me and Brad's probably talked about this fucking movie, probably enough to write a book.
Yep.
I will say this before I fucking forget it, because it's just one of those random things that flew out of there. You and I talked about this movie so much in the past where we were pretty much on the same page of being like, Natalie Portman's character. Like, we could take that character and just fucking write that out, just cut the whole page out of that script, her involvement, anything dialogue, let's cut it out in the bathtub scene and all that. And my wife was like, I got where you guys are coming from thinking that. She was like, but it's the only thing that humanizes Al Pacino's character, because the rest of the movie, he's just a shark. Like, he sits still, he dies, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's on the hunt just to do his fucking job. So I thought that was really interesting that she brought that shit up, and I'm just like, you're just defending her because you're a bitch too. You know what I mean?
Well, there's two storylines in there that humanize both characters. So you have that humanizes obviously Pacino.
You know,
And then on the other end, you have De Niro, who's trying to save Shaharless's marriage. He's trying to be a good guy and help him out there. And he's got this new 20-year-old girlfriend for no reason that makes no sense. But he's good to her. So I guess also you have the Pacino when he comforts the black lady when they find her dead daughter. For like way too long. He's like holding her.
it focuses way too long in that.
Yeah.
I think they're all just pretty much used like story development, just to try to make the characters a little bit deeper. I think that's what they were going for. I guess I don't know, but
of course, everybody has a favorite scene for this fucking movie, but mine, of course, I can't just list one because there's two actually. Of course, mine, Pacino and De Niro are like sitting on that fucking that diner, and that conversation that they have is you can hold your breath, and it's just like fuck, man, like the response. The way that those two men are sitting there talking to one another is basically the most kindest way of being like, I'm going to do whatever I got to fucking do. You're just going to have to come catch me. And that's it. It's either I'm going to get you first or you're going to get me, whatever. I don't hate you, but I understand what you're doing. You're a fucking shark. You got to catch me. But the second scene, of course, is the handoff where it goes so wrong. Of course, Tom Sizemore, he pops out around from behind the gate, and when he fucking draws that pump shotgun up and lets those rounds come out of it, and you hear the sound of that windshield just getting pelted. Oh man, like just as a somebody who loves guns as much as I do, every time I see that scene, I'm like, jack the sound up, because I love the sound of that buckshot just fucking spraying that window. My favorite scene probably in fucking movie history, pretty much, especially involving guns.
Well, the guy getting hit behind the windshield is like, it's not like, or whatever. It's like really like,
impact.
Really high impact shots.
It's brutal. But anybody who hasn't fucking seen Heat, I guess you're living under some fucking rock somewhere out in the middle of the desert. You probably should just stay there. But if you haven't seen this fucking movie, do yourself a favor and watch that shit. That's one of the greatest films of all time, if I had to say so.
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine watched that opening weekend in theaters when it came out. It's been I've been a fan of it ever since.
It was a big moment for those two to meet on screen.
Oh, it was a big deal. When they were doing a movie together, that was a big deal. It was.
I still like when he gets Waingro at the end and he tells him to look at him, before he finally just, and that whole sequence there, I like that whole bit.
What a great thing that they built onto his character too, because just out of nowhere you're seeing this scene of him like in the motel room with this prostitute as well. And of course they're trying to make it where you're gonna fucking hate this guy regardless, but they just throw extra on it. And it's just like, man, like fuck. It's such a sweet revenge when he finally gets it too. So all over a fucking fire alarm that he just sets off, and he's like, fuck this, I don't care for the repercussions. Before we skip town, I gotta go kill this bitch.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does too.
I got time.
I'll make time for this.
And he even mentions that early in the movie that he has a recurring dream about him drowning. And it's about him running out of time. And he literally goes, oh no, I have time. I have time to take care of this. And obviously
as brief as it is, I even really like Val Kilmer's character in that movie too. Plays it really good. I'm not a fucking the Oliver Stone film where Val Kilmer took over as Jim Morrison. I hate that fucking movie. I don't know what it is about. I love the Doors music, but I can't watch that fucking movie. I think Oliver Stone was a complete piece of fucking garbage to do that movie, honestly. But yeah. Anyway, Val Kilmer was a shit in that movie. He sucked in the Doors though.
All right, Johnny.
We're not here to bash anybody, Johnny. Come on.
Yeah, we don't bash people endlessly over here. Okay.
Well, the reason why Val Kilmer got all fucked up and he got all sick and he got that fucking voice box and other shit is because he did that fucking Doors movie, man. He probably looked back on that shit and probably gave him a heart attack.
It's entirely possible.
Sorry. That's some mean shit to say.
Just your opinion.
It's
just my opinion. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
just say that. It's all okay. Whatever you're going to say next.
It's just being a big fan of the Doors, man. It's just been watching that movie. It's a letdown.
This movie I had a long time ago. For a long time, I bought it directly from Don May at the tables. Some guys in the chat apparently have some problems with me. You can find me about any convention in the Northeast. Pretty easy to find. So, but I was talking to Don May. Ended up buying it there. I was waiting for the standard edition, and just how they are with their standard editions, they take forever. But I finally got around to opening the Kindred. This is from '84, I think. This is free to watch on YouTube if you want to check it out. I can't really say that you know, it's worth the $50 that this fucking steelbook costs. As much as I love Don May, I just don't think it is. This is a 3-disc set, soundtrack, DVD, Blu-ray. It looks good, but basically what it is this character has, his mother is like a renowned biochemist, engineer, whatever, with sea animals. She has all this data about, you know, sea research and all this shit. And she has a colleague that's interested in making hybrid humans. This has apparently been happening for years. And it's like Rod Steiger is the mad scientist in this. And she was a colleague of his. And she has a heart attack and she's about to die. And her secrets are going to die with her. Rod Steiger finds out from her son that she's dying, who's also a doctor. And so he goes and visits her and tries to get the information out of her. It turns out she has created sons with her son's DNA, and they're like, you know, creatures. It's very vague, and it turns out they're like half sea creatures, half human. They have tentacles. It's very bizarre, very 80s. Felt with almost like TV movie quality, but the effects are like real sci-fi movie quality. So the movie's not the greatest. I can't say that, but I can't say it's bad either, because it is a lot of fun. The effects are crazy. It's splatter, slime everywhere. At the beginning of the movie, Rod Steiger's character has a henchman that brings him like brain dead patients to experiment on, and he tries to like grease him out of a couple extra bucks, and he says, instead of, you know, okay, let me settle up with you, I'll give you everything I owe you. He takes him lower and lower into this dungeon and then locks him in this room, and these freaks come out from everywhere, these brain dead freaks, and they kind of like pull him apart, which I love that part. I wanted more of that, but that's the only time you ever see him. It kind of put me in the mind of Basket Case 2, where the freaks kind of turn. So they go back to she puts this in his mind, his mother, that he has a brother named Anthony, and she says, you know, look out for Anthony, burn all my paperwork and all this stuff, you know, so nobody can find it. And she's not making any sense to him. He goes back to her house to kind of clean up the estate. The basement is full of, you know, bile and all this crazy shit and slime. And Anthony is this gigantic dick-shaped tentacle monster, basically, and all hell breaks loose. So, I mean, there's plenty of high spots in it. I wish the movie was a little stronger. As far as the movie goes, I think it's just kind of a step up from a Vinegar Syndrome title. It's not anything great, but the effects are a lot of fun, and a lot of effort was put into this movie. And this release has like a full-length documentary talking about the process of getting this thing remastered. And this was one of those movies that was stuck on VHS forever, and it was just a big deal for nerds to get this, I guess. I remember seeing the other image of the baby bottle in movie rental places, but I never rented it. So I was glad to finally see it. I was glad to buy it directly from Don May and support that company, Synapse Films. But other than that, I can't recommend it for $50. I'd stream it first, see if you like it. And, you know, if you really need it, the standard edition will come on sale, you know, fairly soon.
Right, the look, it came out in '87. The reason why I thought it did, because I was in high school. Me and about 5 buddies just got hammered one night, and I ended up going to see that late one night the weekend it came out. And that's my first memory of seeing the Kindred. And so I knew it had to be later '80s. I graduated '89. So yeah,
I had fun with it. The story was kind of clunky, I guess.
It was. It's
so
good, but it didn't hold up because I remember really liking it back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't think I probably seen it. I'm sure I've seen it 1 or 2 times in between, but I didn't see it again until years later when that release came out. And it didn't hold up as much as I remember, because I really kind of held it up here, and it kind of dropped for me a little bit on a rewatch. The effects shit didn't hold up very well.
Yeah. And, you know, it's that you got to remember when you saw it, and if people saw it in the video store, that would lend really well to VHS.
Yeah.
Being real, you know, hard to see and things like that. Now that you see everything, it's like, you know, do you really want to see everything?
Yeah.
In that case.
Yeah, 4K is not friendly to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and it's a 4K scan on a Blu-ray disc. I did like it. I'm not going to get rid of it or anything, but that's a hard one for $50 to me.
Yeah.
But, you know. All right. Scratch Burno, Suspect Zero is a cool film. The director also did The Shadow of the Vampire and The Begotten. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when I was looking at his filmography, whatever, it was mainly a lot of videos. Like they did a lot of Danzig and Marilyn Manson videos, shorts, and he did have some other movies.
Anybody else? So Mikey's Morgue is saying there's some issues with the comments. It's frozen or something. Guys, post a test in the chat. Make sure that this thing's working right.
And we're also multi-streaming, so maybe try to go to Johnny, Brad, or my channel, whatever, and see if it works better for you.
Yeah, but yeah, we can see it, Mikey. It's just sometimes this stuff happens. We're saying what's up to Chubbs. I posted some test stuff here just to see if everybody can see this stuff. While Wrangler saying what's up, Cinema Jimbo. The Doors movie was trash. Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about. Especially if you're a fan of the fucking Doors, man. Like watching that movie just makes Jim Morrison seem like this fucking like a bitch boy, like a poetic bitch boy, basically. At the end of the day, and you're just like, nah, man. Like he was pretty controversial, man. Like he did a lot of fucking shit at some clubs where they were just like they never wanted him to come back just because of his antics on stage, and then they blew up all of a sudden. Everybody was like, please come play our club and shit. Like everybody forgot that part. Like the only thing Oliver Stone wanted to fucking focus on was like Jim Morrison, like, is the next Elvis. He wiggles his hips and all these girls throw their vaginas at him and shit. And it's like, nah, there's like a lot more to that fucking dude than just that. He had a whole band with him that never got recognition to begin with. But yeah, man, whatever. Yeah, I agree with that. That fucking movie was trash. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
This ends the
All
cycle.
these girls threw their vaginas at it. Might be the best line of the night so far.
Yeah, man. Like they make him out to be like have you ever seen that bullshit? Like the hipster kids, like the college, like the long hair college dude with fucking sandals. He's like sitting under the oak tree at college and he's playing his little fucking acoustic guitar to like some stupid skanks and shit. And they're like, oh god, he's so fantastic. They made Jim Morrison out to be that way, and it's like, nah, man. Like he was one of the first artists to really experiment with like LSD to a whole nother level and write some of the greatest fucking music on it. So, like, give the guy some notoriety for that. Like, not that Oliver Stone piece of shit. And Natural Born Killers, that's a whole nother fucking ball game. I praise that movie. That's all great. Whether Quentin Tarantino left some shit in there written and they actually used it, we're not going to go into that. But Oliver Stone fucking dropped the ball in that fucking Doors movie. If you have it, if you want to get good points on me, just make a video of yourself fucking throwing that shit in the fireplace and I'll send you some money.
That's just Johnny's opinion.
That's just his opinion.
That's just his opinion.
Got a few cocktails. All right, sue me. All right.
You just say that at the end.
I see a new series starting, by the way. I see a new series starting.
It's coming. It's already coming. All right.
If you love that movie, hey, that's great. Everybody's got their likes and shit, and that's all good. But man,
I've always thought Oliver Stone was a sniveling ass. So I mean, that doesn't really change anything for me. Wall Street. I like the sequel to Wall Street. They'll probably do a third Wall Street before Michael Douglas dies. Hagen, we were talking about this before the stream, that Beyond the Reach is like Wall Street 3 to me. It's like him retired or whatever, basically. Hagen K, I'll have to check out the director's cut. But yeah, I think it really is. The director's cut of The Town is much darker, and it goes into Ben Affleck's character falling off the wagon basically before he goes back and does this crime. Like it's a crime like they kind of know that they're going to get fucked on, and he decides to get right back on oxys, and I feel it's a lot better than the theatrical cut.
Tell me, that's a great fucking movie too.
Yeah, but definitely inspired by Heat. I mean, he even says that in the commentary that Heat is a big inspiration for it, and you can tell by the gun battles and all that shit. Ragnar Synapse has beautiful products, but they're way overpriced. The steelbooks are, I mean, I don't know if I'd say way overpriced, but 50, and this is like 50 from 2 years ago, so I mean,
what's scary is like 5 years. We'll be going, damn, that's only $50.
Yeah.
That's what I worry about.
Yeah, we had this conversation a little bit briefly the last time where we were just like, here we are. A couple years ago, we were like, God, man, $40, $50 a fucking title. Can't we just settle at 40? And yeah, you're right. 5 years from now, we're probably like, oh, it's only $50 because every other title is like fucking 75 at this point. So
one thing about these steelbooks, I don't know what it is about Synapse steelbooks, but they're way heavier.
They're heavy, yeah.
Quality.
than the normal Steelbook for some reason.
Yep.
But I love the company. It's a small
They
Michigan
don't put
company.
out a lot of shit, whatever. I think I
Yeah.
got 3 of their steel books, maybe 4.
Yeah,
They don't put out a lot of shit, whatever, man. But when they put something out, man, you know you're getting quality.
it's going to be
There's no
perfect.
doubt about that.
Don May
Not
does
to
the
mention-
subtitles, right down to the subtitles he does. So
Yeah.
it's all one guy.
Ask yourself this too: whenever you buy a Synops product, are you really worried about a replacement program?
Zero.
Barely ever happens.
That's what I'm saying. They just pay attention to what they're putting out and put out quality shit. And I really appreciate that.
Me too.
Like I said, when I talked to him, it was like talking to Johnny or any of these fucking weirdos. It was just a regular physical media fan that happened to own a physical media company. He liked releases from all different companies, all different shit. I had a bag of shit there. He's like, "What did you get?" And talked about rights issues and all kinds of stuff. And back then, there was some beef between him and Vinegar Syndrome and all that stuff over the Thriller release. He said that's all bullshit. They're just saying that to build up their release. They're just saying that to. He's like, I have a fucking meeting with them,
And it worked. Everybody was talking about it for a month.
Yeah, and it's sold. He said, I'm selling a lot of copies. They're selling a lot of copies. I'm not going to argue with it. I'm not going to go, oh no, everything's fine. Stop buying them. What am I going to do? Say stop buying the fucking movies. So
kind of sad, but it's like one of those things where like the shitstorm, like the spectacle of the shitstorm was a lot more entertaining than the actual movie. That was.
I know Brian wasn't a fan of that one. I'm sure Brian, shit. Johnny was not a fan of that one. Whatever. I love that fucking movie. So.
I mean, I own 3 copies of it, but it's somewhere. Where's that piece of shit at? Yeah, I got one right here.
That's a great
release.
release.
We got. Yeah, that one right there.
That's one of my favorite releases, man. That's awesome.
Well,
Vinegar Syndrome did a great job on the release.
Well, yeah, $55. It was worth it. Maybe you just watched the wrong cut.
I watched both cuts.
Yeah,
I watched the one where they're not fighting in slow motion.
Yeah, we were watching it. We were all watching it together. Now Johnny's just like, "What the fuck is this? What is happening?"
It's bad too when you're watching the movie and you're not even sober and you're kind of realizing like this movie's making me sober because it's so fucking bad.
And I felt bad because it was my first time watching. I was pimping the hell out of that movie to Johnny. Man, Johnny's gonna fucking love this. He's like, I fucking hate this movie.
Dave G, what's going on?
I'm watching it with my wife and shit in the living room while we're all on Discord just watching it. And then all of a sudden we get to see the glazed donut scene where I'm like, oh no. I'm looking at my fucking wife and she's grossed out and I'm like, oh fuck. Oh, can we stop this movie now? This is garbage.
My only complaint with it is the off-screen ending. You set up that big long setup with the horse and all that.
Yeah.
And then that's all off screen. I guess they didn't have really the technology to pull it off, but if they would have nailed that, that would have made an impression for sure.
While we were going through all that, like it seems like forever now ago, but while we were going through all that, I remember like through Instagram, like there was a few people who hit me up because we did our videos where I was just like, I don't see what the fuck you guys saw in that movie, but it was garbage or blah 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 or whatever, and they're like, you talk about these fond memories of like being a kid going into the video store to get I Spit on Your Grave and like being such a big fan of that movie still, but you hate Thriller. It just makes no sense. And I'm like, well, I Spit on Your Grave was a great fucking film compared to that garbage. So you like what you like. I mean,
I did like it, but I think it gets a lot of fanfare because it's foreign, because it's a foreign product from back in that era. But that eyeball gag, I love it. The way that all worked.
I think it's funny that the 4K, which I thought the 4K looked good, but even on the 4K, you still got the pubic hair. That one pubic hair that stays there for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, man.
Clean your camera off, dude. Dave G, what's up? Already need to rewatch the Kindred. Yeah, you can stream it. It's a 720 copy on YouTube. Check it out. Like I said, if you like practical effects, sludge, slime, you'll have fun with it. But it does, like the story and the acting feels like made for TV quality, if that makes sense. It kind of puts me in mind of Ticks. Ticks is a fun movie, but I would say Ticks is better than the Kindred, but also has like kind of campy dialogue and strange acting. But Rod Steiger's pretty fun in it. He's covered in slime for. It's like a Nickelodeon movie by the end. Everybody's getting slimed.
Best part about
Great
it,
comparison.
watching Carlton be a gangster.
Yeah, Carlton and
that's,
Tiggs.
that's the best part. I got a kick out of that.
Gangbanger. What was his fucking name? Like Trimmer or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because I'm never scared or whatever. I don't remember what it was. It was he's like a 4-foot Carlton. Yeah, that's funny. Cool, Dave. Glad it's working. So Coley, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Steve saying the band came out against Oliver Stone and the movie after it was released and said it was all a good representation of Morrison, and the good part of it was fabricated bullshit, and a good part of it was fabricated bullshit. That's Oliver Stone for you.
Johnny just bite his
Like, no matter what, man. Like I just gotta fucking think. I'm like, yeah, man. Like I'm not gonna take. I'm just not gonna take Oliver Stone's representation of fucking Jim Morrison. I just can't do it.
I mean, you've seen Oliver Stone's movie Kennedy, or what is it called?
JFK.
JFK.
That is just,
Kevin Costner.
That is just ridiculous. That I mean, the script that is so complicated and bizarre, and it was good performances and all that stuff, but I don't know. This just goes so many different directions, and it's like it's a conspiracy that benefits who. It just was weird, and it's like 4 hours long or some shit. I don't know. I've just never been a big fan of Oliver Stone, but hey, that's just my opinion.
So, kudos to Val Kilmer for giving an attempt to go for that role, because I'm sure that shit had to be stressful as hell. But I just think the right guy to direct him in that way was not going to be Oliver Stone. Like they should have let somebody else take the charge of that.
Yeah,
and they just started with a whole different script to begin with. Somebody who was actually educated on the Doors, like Martin Scorsese did the whole thing with the Stones. Like this, Rolling Stones still his favorite band. Even when he did his documentary, like he did a whole film based on the Rolling Stones for their show. And even he was like, I'm such a big fan of them, but it's really weird to be so let down where they know that I'm a big filmmaker and I'm shooting their movie, but they refuse to hand me a fucking set list of what their show is going to be before I film it. And they're like, fuck you. Just because you make a movie and you're all great doesn't mean you're going to know the songs before we play. I was like, I kind of respect them for that. Like that was a cool idea. So when I heard him bitch about that, I was like, I'll watch your movie, dude. Fuck it.
Dave G, a lot of inaccuracies in the Doors film. He never locked Pam in the closet and set it on fire. Love the Doors. Fuck Oliver Stone.
Amen, Dave. Amen.
But hey, that's just his opinion.
It is.
Rob Wrangler, yeah, check it out, especially if you have the director's cut of The Town. It's a winner. Dave G, own all the Synapse Steelbooks. Good thing if you're not forced to buy them, the Steelbook can wait for the stripped down standard release. That's my only complaint about Synapse is they always say we're not doing a standard edition. We have no plans of doing a standard edition. And then soon after the standard edition always comes out, and you could have saved half the money at least buying the standard edition.
Don't lure you too much into it. Just let's keep going.
Alex Lambert. I've never seen that name before. What's going on?
Welcome, man.
Appreciate you stopping by, man.
Sipping on stuff, he says. Tell me what stuff are you sipping on?
All right. There's a lot of haze going around. Mike, what's going up? What's going on, man? All right, we're on to the next one here.
All right, my next movie was not anywhere as good as the first one. It's going to be part 2 in this box set, Freeway 2. I'm a huge
Confessions of a Trick Baby wasn't a winner.
I'm not sure why I bought this box set. This first movie here, if you hadn't seen it, high recommend. I love this fucking movie. It's so fucking awesome. I don't know. I love that movie. I can watch it once a week. This one here is a huge drop off. Now it's not a sequel. It's his own movie. I didn't realize going into this, whatever, because I knew nothing about this movie, even though it even fucking existed until Vinegar Syndrome put this out. But it's kind of the girl in it from fucking American Pie, Natasha Lyonne. This might be a hot take, but I think she's the hottest girl from American Pie. I always thought that. So
remind me what character she is in American Pie.
She's not the main character by no means. I don't know. I can't remember her name in American Pie. Jessica, I think. Is that right?
She's like the lesbian girl in American Pie.
She was Jessica in American Pie. But anyway, the movie itself, you got basically she's bulimic. So most of the fucking movie is just a bunch of girls throwing up. It's not interesting. What this movie lacks that the first one has is, I'm not going to say well acted characters, but it's characters that you enjoy watching. They're so fucked up, they're enjoyable. They're all, you got Reese Witherspoon, you got Kiefer Sutherland playing these fucked up characters, and it's just interesting to watch. This movie here, you don't give a shit about the characters. There's very little character development. She's basically thrown in jail, and for like whatever I want to say 25 years, maybe I'm wrong, but she's going to the juvie hall, and when she gets 18, she's going to the fucking pound me in the ass prison. And basically, her and this girl here, the girl in the movie, it don't matter. She's not a great actress at all. So basically, they bust out of jail and they have a fucking rampage going to Mexico. A lot of throwing up. It's just not much story there. It's just them basically trying to run from the law. They randomly kill somebody. They have some bad interaction between each other. Very bad acting. It just falls flat compared to the first one. This is a huge fucking drop off. I would recommend this to anybody. If you're a fan of the first one, don't be excited there's a part 2 because it's not. Basically, the first movie was a take on Little Red Riding Hood. That was kind of the backdrop of the movie. This is kind of a take on Hansel and Gretel. That's what this one is. And there's one scene, and there's not a lot of Hansel and Gretel in this. There is. But there's one scene where they're going through the woods trying to get lost. Hansel and Gretel will throw breadcrumbs. These bitches drop crack rock. They got a big old bag of fucking rock they found. And so they're dropping crack so they won't lose their way. I thought that was kind of funny. There's a couple of decent kills in it. Nothing great. Very fucking forgettable. I don't see myself ever watching this again. But now that I got this fucking box set, I guess I'm keeping it. But yeah, like I said, I was very disappointed. I knew it was not going to be anywhere as good as the first one, but I was hoping it would at least be, so bad it was good kind of thing. It was just very forgettable, very just middle of the road, nothing to it. And this guy here, whatever, the fucking dude with the big fucking chin, he's basically a fucking nun transvestite. Very uninteresting character, very weird fucking character. Nobody gave a shit about.
It's like the Wish version of like Black Phone or some shit.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. I was hoping to get some enjoyment out of this, and I just, I'm a fan of hers. Like I said, I always thought she was kind of hot, but yeah, man, it was such a letdown. But go see part 1, fuck part 2.
Hey, I love the part 1. Actually, you would call me like I think it was Friday night. Joe Bob had showed it. You'd call me that Saturday. And you were like, hey, like I fucking hear Joe Bob showed the first Freeway. And I was like, man, like I thought like the first 30, 40 minutes of that movie was just like, oh man, like I done got myself into some garbage. But as soon as that car fucking pulls over, Kiefer Sutherland pulls that car over and that conversation fucking starts, it's like, ooh, yeah, that movie goes lightning fast.
One of my favorite characters in the first one is the piece of shit stepdad. When the stepdad and the stepmom are cracked out and they're fucking laughing and shit, that's so fucking funny. And that character, the guy that plays the stepdad, he's the only character that's in this movie. He plays like a hobo in a train, just a little small part, whatever. But yeah, that guy was great in part 1. Just what a fucking loser. But yeah, man, part 2 was just, it should have got made. It's the same director, but it is not the same movie by no means.
The scene in the courtroom for the first one too, whenever they finally Will Sutherland's character into the courtroom, and she's just sitting there like just mocking the fuck out of you too. Man, she's like, look at that piece of shit.
And something else about part 2 to keep an eye on is the judge, but they show the judge twice. The judge is played by John Landis. The director, John, whatever reason, nice. He has a cameo as the judge that sentences the girl. Did I take any notes about this I want to talk about? Probably not. This is the best quote in the movie. When I borrowed, I said she was bulimic. please don't take this out of context. I'm quoting a fucking movie here. When I barf, it makes me think of the first time I blew my dad. You know, there's a lot of lines like that in there. They're trying to the first one, you know, and it just I don't know. I had some thoughts. Or anything interested in my thoughts? Probably not. I'll sit there take thoughts while I'm watching the movie. When we're doing the stream. They do a lot of shit.
You thought enough to write that?
That's something else aggravating.
You thought enough to drop that quote down.
What's that?
You thought enough to jot that quote down.
I thought it was funny when she said it, but there's a lot. They do some shit that ain't entertaining and ain't funny, and they laugh hysterically, and it's like, Jesus Christ, please get me out of this movie. What else do I have here? Most of the movie is just them barfing from eating disorder. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Fuck that movie.
You know, just a quick little side note, right quick, but before we go on, I honestly think, man, like I'd probably watch a lot more films if some of these companies actually hired you to write their little banner, like their little bullet notes on the front of the movie posters. Like, because dude, you just spit out two right there. All of a sudden, it's like the first one's like if Silence of the Lamb and Death Wish had a baby, and now we're sitting at the blowjob with my dad, and it's like, oh Jesus Christ, man! Like you probably
put that on the cover.
Get some traction, yeah. Man.
Hey, draw your attention in, right?
Yeah, man. I think what's his name? Troma Films. What's his name? Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman. He should hire you, man, just to write those little fucking bullet points on his films. I think it'd go perfect.
Hey, I can use the
Brad,
gig, man. Tell him to call me. Fuck.
Hey,
Hey, making the money on YouTube, that's for sure.
Brad showed a Synops film. Just so happens I got one right here too. I always go to this box set, even though I had the Arrow Video one, which is a little bit of the fancier set, I would say, of Demons 1 and 2. But I show you this one right here is beautiful. Both films of this, I think Synops did the best job on these. It's a lot easier to get in this fucking packaging, by the way, than otherwise than open up an elevator box set.
Yeah.
Just like that free one. He just opened up there, but I got a J card wrapped around it. And
Every time you take it off the shelf, it just falls apart, it seems like.
It does, man. And it's just like, you know what, man? It's going to take me fucking 15 minutes to get the fucking disc out of the box, but I can just go to the shelf and grab this one. Honestly, it's a better transfer. But that's Don May for you, man. Like they took like 7 months just to put the scan together, and unlike Arrow Films, they wasn't trying to do 26 movies at once because they had a release schedule ahead of them. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Demons 1 and 2 from Synops right here. I pop this in usually like there's a little side note, like Sundays in my house, like usually most people are at church or whatever. It's usually like the Sunday morning is like the time me and my wife is going to spend the most time together, get them cook breakfast and shit like that. And I try to always pick up like a really fucked up movie to watch on Sunday. So Demons 1 with the gore effects, of course, I went straight for it. So, you know, while the kids are like eating their eggs and shit in the background, you're seeing like all the bladder effects busting out of bitches' necks and shit. So it's just appropriate with the sunny side up eggs, you know. But yeah, Demons 1 and 2 for sure right there. If you don't have that Arrow Video box set, you kind of want to get something a little easier to get into. I assure you the 4Ks on here. This release and maybe 3 others is probably the best 4Ks I would probably say I own. And when it comes to Synops, their 4Ks, I say Synops 4Ks are even better than Blue Underground, and that's a lot to fucking say. So yeah, Demons 1 and 2, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, Blue Underground actually sends all theirs out. Somebody else does them for Blue Underground. But I guess Lustig is so particular that he kept sending the shit back. So every time they get something from Blue Underground, they have to fucking do it to the 9s, or they know it's going to go back. So yeah, it's a different. I mean, I don't know. Like that came up when I talked to Don May too. That Bill Lustig is still around, but he's just fucking old. He's just old, and you know he's just doing what he can to get by, basically. And unfortunately, that's kind of it's going to be a holding pattern for a while. I guess.
You know, I'm especially when it comes to Bill Lustig, man. He's another one. I would put like as my favorites. Like he's right up under fucking Frank Henenlotter for me, because both those guys were during around that time of like the gritty New York era, where you go like on 42nd Street and you would see kung fu porn movies all in the same fucking cinema, and to see like the documentaries those guys made for like 42nd Street Forever. Some of the special features we got on some of the Frank Henenlotter Arrow releases, where they were revisiting the New York sites where all these old fucking kung fu theaters used to exist. And to see Joe Bob Briggs talk about those same exact theaters and having Frank Henenlotter on talking about that shit, and William Lustig was another one. So, yeah, it almost makes me want to say, like, fuck, man, like, I wish I was around that time in New York and I was, like, alive at that moment, just enjoying, like, that grittiness of the shit. So, I don't know about the whole thing of like walking in a theater and your feet are sticking to the carpet because somebody else's jizz had done dried on the floor. Not that much.
Yeah.
But like to see the shit that they were showing on the silver screen, absolutely, that'd be a different story.
Back then, there was no other way to see this stuff. You'd have never seen Basket Case or any of this stuff unless you saw it there, unless you were there and part of that time. Nightmare to Damaged Brain. I mean, you would have never seen that anywhere else. And right there. Now it's obviously much different. You can see anything anywhere, but back then it was a whole different time.
And I only said jizz just because Alan said blowjob earlier, so it kind of opened the gateway, opened that window, and I just kind of slipped right in there right quick.
Friday night, chemicals are flowing. All right, so my next one here, rewatch this. I watched it for a second time. I did like it. It wasn't quite as dark as I was led to believe. Tony actually recommended this to me. I think it's 1986. It's a British film from the Seven Kids line, When the Wind Blows. I don't like animated stuff. This may be the only animated movie I own, I would think. But it was like real animation. I watched the making of. It's a full-length making of documentary on this also. And how they used like sets and miniatures, and it's a real interesting production. But basically what this movie is apparently back in the UK around this time, there was a lot of nuclear war propaganda and the government overreach and things like that. There were some issues in the UK. And this movie is basically the story of these two seniors that live out in the country. They've retired in the country. They don't even own a car. And they get news that in 3 days that there's going to be a high probability of a nuclear blast in the nearby city to them. So they begin to prepare based on the government guidelines, the government books for these kind of events. Do exactly what this says and you'll survive. And they put doors up and they build like almost like kind of a teepee inside the house. And it's not going to work. It's obviously the government is just kind of trying to distract you before the end. Obviously, so that you won't be busy. You'll be busy preparing instead of rioting or, whatever. So they just follow it to the letter, and it's this, this little couple, and you really like them, and they seem like a really nice old couple, and they're calling their kids, trying to see if they're getting prepared. They're not taking it seriously, but the blast obviously happens, and they continue to follow the letter of literally letter by letter what they're supposed to do after the fallout, and they slowly deteriorate, and of course it becomes really dark, and they slowly just die with each other. And I enjoyed it. The second time about the same. I can't really recommend it to anybody. I mean, it's part of the Seven Kids line. There's no bad language or anything like that. It's just a very David Gregory's British. I'm sure this meant a lot to him when he was a kid. I enjoyed the movie. It's just a hard thing to even recommend at all. I mean, it's very dark, it's very bleak, and not really a good time to be had here at all. But I did enjoy the government overreach angle and the message behind it. And so if you're into apocalyptic movies and you're looking for something a little different, maybe something a little more lighthearted, and it does have quite a bit of humor in it too. But like I said, I've enjoyed it. I was glad to get it in the last sale, and I don't get too many recommendations from Tony. Surprise, surprise. We don't really like the same movies usually, but if you can get it cheap enough and you're into the Severin line and Severin Kids line, I would recommend picking it up. You seen that one, Alan?
I have not.
Yeah, might want to skip that one.
Yeah, I don't have to be Severin Kids items. I think I have the peanut butter solution is the only one I got, I think.
Yeah.
But even with that said, and I'll bring this up. I'm not trying to just trying to defend it, but you remember from Severin, even we got the movie Threads. And that movie was controversial because they, for some reason, decided to air that fucking movie back in the day on a school night where all these families were sitting around with their fucking TV dinners watching that shit while in the midst of everybody being scared of nuclear fallout, basically. Same thing with that movie. When I got that movie, it was pretty much everybody telling me look, when this movie was showed, it was imagine being in fourth grade and your teacher showing you that movie.
Yeah.
Being your brain's not fully fucking developed. You're just a small kid. You're scared to death. You got Reaganism going around, which everybody's if nuclear fallout happens, just hide up under your desk. And you see a movie like that, and it's like, what the fuck is the desk gonna do? Like they hit up on our mattresses in their house, and they still fucking died. So,
Yeah.
but still though, man, I watched that movie with my kids and myself, and I'm telling you right now, like that movie is like Peanut Butter Solution. That's a great happy movie to watch with your kids if they're really young. That movie, you watch that with your kids, you'll probably fuck them up. You'll probably pay for therapy.
Yeah. They're such nice people, and they live in the country, and it's idyllic setting, and it just it's a really nice animated, proper drawings, and the whole bit, and it's really nicely done. It's an odd choice for Severn.
If you go down to that bottom comment right there, where the wife right there just chimed in, she's like, "Yeah, we watched that movie When the Wind Blows as a family." That was my bad.
You see that Severn Kids thing, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, great! It's for kids," And like I said, I remember Tony recommending it, and I love apocalyptic movies, and I really like the whole government angle. And you can really tell it was obviously just bullshit, all the shit they were having them do just to stay really busy, so you can't be fucking around outside, basically.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to meet Zuli and sorry to cut you off. Meet Zuli and whenever we went up to orbit, whatever was it, year before last. And I remember my wife, Zuli, Johnny's wife, and my daughter went off, looking at shops, and left me and Johnny inside orbit. And I'm sure my wife was going, Jesus Christ, this is gonna hurt. But I did pretty good. I think I only dropped what I buy. I probably bought 4 or 5 titles. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad at all. Me and you both were pretty much like, hey, like we own most of this store already. Like we just need the shit they just got in.
So it wasn't nothing that was like I was dying to get. But we went back and watched fucking Bad Boy, because Johnny, being a fucking movie lover he is, on vacation, he brings his fucking VCR, his fucking Blu-ray player and everything for us to watch movies. So we went back to the hotel and watched Bad Boy Bubby, whatever. And yeah, it was fun, man. It was a cool trip. I just wish we had
what he failed to mention is we actually went downstairs and begged the bartender, could he make us some cocktails so we could take to the room?
So we could see that fucking movie.
We need road drinks. We need road drinks to go.
Yeah. Yeah, they when that film came in, I think that was one of the movies where, especially when it comes to the few Severn Kids films, like it's just being the fucking degenerate asshole I was like, you know what? Babe, don't worry. I just dropped $1,300 on the fucking Black Friday sale, but I got these movies that's coming in we can watch for the kids too. So
yeah, that's how you sell it. That's how you sell it. Yeah, it's the kids line, you see.
I put that movie in and they're just like, oh no.
Mrs. Walker saying, we thought you guys were going to be in there all day. Shocker. All right. Catch up with the chat. Alex saying absolutely enjoying some of that. I don't know what that is.
I have no idea what that is. Was it Hayden is Irish, so
Dave, have you guys talked about the Houses of Doom box set from Cauldron? I've heard about it. I haven't. I'm not familiar with what's in that.
Me neither. I went to go actually kind of like look at the spine of that box set today because I just want to see the titles of it, and I was like,
Basil Hayden is a bourbon. Basil Hayden is a bourbon, by the way.
There you go.
There you
Good
go.
for you, man.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff he asked him when he was drinking earlier.
Yeah.
Sydney, what's going on, man?
Look, Sydney, throw some questions, man. Recommendations.
They're coming. Sydney recommendation: Disgrace, 2008, directed by Steve Jacobs, John Malkovich, Natalie Becker. Drama, 3.5 out of 5.
I think it was Sydney that recommended one the other night that I did watch. 5 Minutes of Heaven with Liam Neeson.
Mm-hmm.
Solid movie, man. It was pretty damn good. So y'all check that one out if you get a chance.
Rob, what's going on, man?
What's up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Jetstream, what's going on?
What's up?
Rob showing. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, cool.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Rob.
I'm
Much
assuming
love,
this is a friend of yours, Alan.
It is. Me and him grew up together. That's the inside joke. But Mike, don't worry. I'll be sure to send your mom back after the stream. Ask her to shave her back.
Jesus Christ.
But me and I've known him since fucking first grade. Man, we've worked together 25 years. He's a good dude.
Damn. You said 25 years? Legit.
We went all through high school together, all through school together. Then we worked together for 25 years. I've known that motherfucker since first grade.
So that's like 55 years.
It's a long
You
time.
said that's Robert Motto, right?
No, Mike
No.
Johnson. Mike Johnson, the guy right there.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Wrangler tagline Pops movie Dungeon 11 out of 10 Armageddon with the front case. Yeah, he actually has his own tagline for his Armageddon.
I
set.
do.
What's going on? You're saying what's up? Talking about that liquor.
I never dropped Basil Hayden.
Movie recommendations from Sydney. The Believers 87. I know this one.
Yeah, that's got fucking
That's-
what's his nuts in it?
Martin Sheen.
I think
Martin
it's got.
Sheen, isn't it?
Goddamn, I can't ever think of his fucking name. The guy from fucking Digstown.
It says Malik Bones, Harley Cross, but I thought The Believers was a Martin Sheen movie where he runs almost a cult.
I'm thinking True Believers. So I'm thinking.
Maybe,
True
maybe
Believers.
I'm thinking of True Believers.
Yeah.
We had some clarification on that.
Y'all just watch too many fucking movies, is what it is.
Yeah,
That's the
problem.
problem.
That's the problem.
I'm not 25% senile.
25%. Dave, Threads from Severance is a tough watch about nuclear war. Yeah, I
Definitely
didn't.
a tough watch. It was a one-time
I've
watch
heard-
for me.
I've heard a lot of people say that. I just, for some reason, I couldn't get into it. I don't know why, but it just didn't work. For
Especially
me.
especially the scene where like you see her walking around with a baby that's already been long deceased. It's like,
Yeah.
man, like I didn't
I
sign
watched
up
it
for
once.
this
Before.
shit.
I saw that one to Dirk also. But it was definitely a one-time watch for me. But
To hear what's his name, David Gregory, talk about that movie is, I don't know, it's kind of a treat, man, just because you can kind of tell like that fucking movie scarred the shit out of him.
The Brits were really worried about getting fucked up,
100%, man.
by nuclear war.
and I think the last broadcast, which I own but haven't watched yet, I think it's along the same vein. The last broadcast is supposed to be like a real. They played it kind of like a Blair Witch kind of thing, I think. So maybe it's in the same vein of Threads. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things about it.
All right. Scene featurette. When the Wind Blows would be a great double feature with Grave of the Fireflies, Hours of Laughs. I've not seen that. But
Neither.
it's depressing, and maybe I'll like it.
It's an anime film.
Ah,
One of those Studio Ghibli's, whatever it is. One of those movies where the characters never blink.
mm-hmm.
So I
I'll
don't know.
bring
And that
it
chick
up.
knows her shit about movies too, man. Like I've always check out her channel, man. Like that,
Yeah.
that girl watches some fucking movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe she's a Charles Bronson fan. You gotta like her. So,
Yeah.
But 100%, it's automatic. Just a giveaway. It's like, yeah, you got it.
Great reviews. She just has a new video come out. Rod Wrangler, Long Legs. I saw the trailer for it. I think it looks badass. I'm really excited for that. Steve sent me the trailer for it. It's Nick Cage is in it, but it's more like it looks like a Fincher movie to me. Really
shit.
interesting, like dark. Looks like True Detective meets a Fincher movie. If that makes
You know
any
what
sense.
I have to look
doing?
it up. Steve might have he sent me a lot of trailers. He might have sent me that one. I did see if I seen that one or not.
Yeah, it's called
I'm gonna try
Long
to send
Legs.
the trailer.
So coming out.
Anybody know the distributor?
No, I don't. I
Studio?
didn't know. If I didn't know better, I would say it was like a Zoller movie. It just looks really, really gritty from that trailer.
Well, goddamn, Steve, send me some trailers, man. I want to see the shit.
Yeah, Steve,
You and-
Steve's good
you
about
and
that. He
Steve-
said some good,
You
cool
and Steve
shit.
would get along really well.
Yeah, Steve's a good guy.
He's like the Colorado Johnny. The Houses of Doom is 2 Fulci films. Oh, and 2 Umberto Lenzi films. Okay. Both of them are
Oh,
TV.
shit.
Okay, TV films for both of them. That could be interesting.
All right.
Again, I need to see Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That air release looks cool. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to save some money, it sounds like the same scan. Next Kino sale, they have a 4K of Invasion of the Body Snatchers and a Blu-ray. They're due for a sale any minute now for the spring sale. So I would just keep an eye out for. But if you want the Arrow artwork, Arrow's got several different art versions. But it should be $17.99 in the next Kino sale. Steve's saying there was definitely an 80s movie starring Martin Sheen, called The
The
Believers.
Believers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sydney, movie recommendations to Frailty. That's also a really good
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Fairly.
Fuck
Matthew
yeah.
McConaughey, Bill Paxton, thriller, drama, mystery, definitely. Horror mystery, I think.
That was a movie that just came out of fucking nowhere, too. I just remember never even hearing about it, just being in the video store, grabbed the DVD off the shelf, threw my $3 down on the counter, went home with it, and I was like, yeah, I'll be buying this shit. Loved it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big Matthew McConaughey fan, and I'm just watching him in that movie. I was like, "Shit, man, that dude was fucking great." Especially that opening scene where he's basically giving the story inside that big ass building, and then we get to go all the way back, and it's like, man, like great storytelling all the way.
Yeah, the whole time you're like, is Bill Paxton fucking crazy? One of the sons thinks he's crazy. One of the sons believes him, and then when Bill Paxton comes home and says, "These are the weapons given to me by God to take down the demons," and it's like a fucking flashlight, an axe, and some gloves. It's like, or, maybe a pipe. I can't remember everything, but it's just like, this is what we're gonna fucking fight demons with. This shit. How does it make any sense?
It just has a fucking degenerate psycho. You're sitting there watching on TV and you're like, oh, I'm all in. Let's see what happens. Go with it.
One of the kids is like, all right, so we're killing demons now. And the other kid's like, you're fucking crazy. Yeah, it's a winner, man. Really a hidden gem.
Let's say this, Sydney. Like, really, man? 3.5 out of 5, man, for the Frailty, man.
That's a good score.
Wow. That's a high score for.
He scores tough, and that's a good score for him.
All right, man. I'm just saying, man, that was one of those films, man. Like I said, that's for Frailty, just being that complete surprise out of nowhere. It kind of reminds me of like High Tension. Like just not even knowing that was something that was a project that was made. There really was no advertisement for it, and all of a sudden you're just randomly coming across it, just digesting shit. You're like, how is nobody talking about this? This is one of the greatest fucking things that's come out in a while. So yeah, 3.5 is just like, wow, man. Like we couldn't say 4 at least. Like fuck.
Yeah.
It's Bill Paxton all the way. Bill Paxton sells that fucking movie for me, man. But is what it is, man.
Steve, I'll find you on the gram, John. Yeah, cool.
Thank you, man.
Alex, have you guys checked out Perfect Blue or that Ghibli release? I hear a lot of things about Perfect Blue as an anime. It's supposed to be great. I've just really not seen any anime to speak of.
Yeah, my kids are big into anime. I've never really got into it, but they love it.
I'm not trying to shit all over it, but for some reason, Joe Bob Briggs decided to pick that one night for the last drive-in. And I think that was the second movie of the night. And by the time that movie came on, I think I was probably a little inebriated, and I kept trying to just pour it in. And no matter how much I poured in, made that movie decent. I'm sorry, I just don't like Japanese music. I don't like that pop band shit they do neither. Was that like that BTS kind of style shit or whatever? And I know that was way before then. It's supposed to be like anime giallo. Not my thing. Not my thing at all. But hey, kudos to them for trying. I'm sure there's a lot of fans of it, especially if Joe Bob fucking showed it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of things about it. I've just never seen it.
Dude, if you didn't like When the Wind Blows, like you're not gonna fucking sit through that. You'll turn that on for 10 minutes, and then whoever talked you into buying it, you'll fucking cuss them out.
I like When the Wind Blows, but I early on I could tell what it was. I could tell that it was like basically a UK, anti-government piece. I could basically tell what it was basically the anti-propaganda that they were being told. But again, I don't know shit about what they're doing over there. Steve's talking about Frailty, yeah. Alex, Frailty is one of the most underappreciated films of all time. Always an instant recommend. Yeah, it's kind of shocking that people haven't seen it, especially with that cast.
Yeah, could have said that better, Alex.
Steve, I think that was something that Paxton had in his back pocket. Yeah, the pipe, or just I don't know. It was like a pipe, an axe, and some gloves. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and maybe I think they maybe just had flashlights.
The scene in that too, which fucking where the punishment scene where he's forced to fucking dig the cellar out in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, when you see that kid's hands after he's been fucking just manhandling that shovel for a couple of days and shit, and it's just like, oh man, I've been there before with trying to fucking dig a ditch, and it sucks. Like you can't help but just go, fuck, man, I can't help but feel sorry for that kid.
Oh, Sydney, question: who do you think is the most overrated and underrated actor in your opinion?
Oh, nice, man.
Overrated would be Clint Eastwood.
Bitch.
Whoa. What the fuck?
All right, stream's over. You're fired.
Who's the fucking kid from Dune? What's his name? Little guy, little British guy from Dune. I just hate that kid. What's his name?
I don't know.
Timothy Chalamet or what? I hate that guy. I think he sucks. Plastic and sucks. Underrated, maybe Ben Foster.
That's a good one.
Oh, nice pick, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Damn, Brad, that was a good fucking pick, man.
Alan's been short circuited by that Clint Eastwood comment.
No, I'm thinking about underrated right now. So there's quite a few out there, but you know me, I got on fucking live stream. I can't think of shit. Ben Foster is a good one.
Yeah, man. Like fuck it. Since you said it, I can't even fucking think now. Overrated, man. What's the dude's name from Royal Tenenbaumers? He did Wedding Crashers with fucking Vince Vaughn. What's his name? Big ass nose.
Wilson?
Yeah,
Owen
fuck that guy, man.
Yeah.
That's overrated for me. Everybody loves his ass too, man. Like, oh, he's so funny. I'm like, man, fuck him, dude. I break his nose.
Not overrated anymore. He ain't really doing shit.
I think they kept
yeah?
putting him in movies to keep him from killing himself. Apparently, he was suicidal the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, if I was him, I'd be suicidal too. Underrated. Yeah, man. You said Ben Foster. The only thing that ran through my mind was like, what was the steelbook we got from Best Buy? The Hell.
Hell or High Water.
Yeah, man. What a fucking character for that one, right? And
Basically,
you said Pandora.
Pandorum.
Pandorum. Was he in Pandorum? Am I
Yeah, he's
thinking
the
that
lead
right?
in Pandorum. Yeah.
There you go. Was he in Panic Room as well?
No, he's not in Panic Room.
Somebody else. That's Jared Leto, isn't it?
Jared Leto, yeah.
Ooh, man, I've had some cocktails tonight. Come on, Alan, help me out, man. You're supposed to come in here, man. Save me.
Yeah, I'm failing now.
Yeah.
I'm failing.
We'll come back around to that.
Yeah, let's move on.
Damn good question though, Sydney. Damn.
He throws the good questions out there.
Sydney always brings the questions.
All right, this next one will be short and sweet. The Naked Cage. I like women prison movies. This is a wash, rinse, repeat. This is if you've seen one, you've seen this one. I'll just read the plot. You see what I'm talking about. A young woman is falsely convicted of a bank robbery and sent to a prison run by a corrupt warden. We've never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
She struggles to survive the harsh prison life while violent bullying, sexual assault, and drug addiction runs rampant. The reason why I know this movie was just one of those just basic, forgettable movies is I took 0 notes. That's all the notes I took. It's one of those movies where you got a girl, she's innocent, she's in there, there's a bully, she's trying to survive, she gets revenge, they have a fight, the occasional titty pops out. There you go. That's what you got. There's no new ground here. Very forgettable. They've done it better in other movies. It's watchable. If you like women prison movies, watch it because it's gonna satisfy the need for that. If you want to watch something like that, but this doesn't break any new ground. It wasn't like anything I can really recommend. Very, very, very middle of the road and very bad acting. But you don't watch a movie called The fucking Naked Cage expecting acting. I'm not worried about that. But this is real bad acting, and it's very 80s. There's a 80s women lesbian scene. There's a women's lesbian scene that's so fucking 80s. It's ridiculous. The music, what they're wearing, it's pretty hard to watch. But anyway, like I said, Naked Cage, it is what it is. I wasn't expecting much out of it. It's not staying in the collection. It's gone. This is the one out of my 5 I'm showing tonight that I am getting rid of.
That's a Screen Factory title, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Very recently, last year this came out.
Is that a?
What's that?
Go ahead, Brad. My bad.
I said, is there reverse art on that?
No. Well, just the inside.
Oh, it's inside art. Yeah, okay.
Inside art.
Oh, yeah.
But I said directed by Paul Nicholas, starring who gives a fuck. I don't know anybody in the movie. That's what I put down I didn't write down the cast because nobody's ever going to hear any people.
Was that a Roger Corman produced film?
I didn't write down who produced it. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. Like I said, it is what it is. There's better movies made that do the same fucking thing. Watch
it's probably OOP too.
Yeah.
I want to say that was a site exclusive. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, and it's just we did a prison movie stream, and I don't think any of the five guys pulled one women in prison movie.
Because they're all the same, dude. I mean, you watch it for the hot women, having women fights. There's some good women fights in this. You know, if that's what you're into. I mean, like, there's some good, pretty good fights in it. But like I said, I've seen it done 1,000,000 times.
All right, let's see Johnny's next one here.
Got distracted. Sorry. I was about to say, man, like you said that a bunch of guys couldn't pull up like a really good a women's prison film.
Yeah, we did a top 5 prison movies.
By the way, Joran Globus and Menahem Golan Globus was the producer on this. The two, I guess, they did a lot of shit. Those 5 producers, the Golden Globus was still the producers.
For some reason, I just had that memory of like Roger Corman, like having his dick in it somehow. Because you know the guy only produced like fucking 3,000 movies. But that women's prison movie just ain't the pick. But I definitely, if anybody's never seen any of those movies, you want to see some really good fucking female prison flicks. Yeah. Don't stick to the U.S. to be able to pull that off. Like you got to go overseas for something like that. I would say that's just my opinion. Though.
I like Broken Down Palace with Claire Danes.
Yeah, Broken Down Palace.
Yeah, where she's in prison in Thailand for drug trafficking.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right. Next up, this was one of those. This is one of those crazy fucking flicks. But I kind of put this on last Saturday night while me and the missus were about to go to bed. We ended up staying up watching it. And this is my missus, the wife's first time watching this. I don't know if she really cared for it, but it was. I still like this movie though. That's Criterion's release of Rumblefish. I do, man. I like Dylan a lot in this movie, but of course, the one who's going to sell it for me the most, which is one of Alan's fucking favorite actors. You know what it is, Alan? You ever seen this?
Oh yeah, I'll say that.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. 100%.
So Nicolas Cage is in that, Rob. He's got a small role.
Yeah, very, very small. This is like, you know, I think he did Valley Girl first before he did this one. I could be wrong. It could have been vice versa.
Yeah, right at the same time.
But, you know, he's Brian De Palma's relative and all that shit. And, of course, they changed his name, whatever. But, yeah, Mickey Rourke's character in this fucking movie. So the whole movie's basically black and white. There's only a very few instances of colors, which is basically the beta fishes that they show in this movie. The ending, I'll be honest, it's a little cheesy to me, but considering the fact that basically Mickey Rourke's character, the motorcycle boy, he actually leaves town and he disappears for a while. He goes out to California and he travels a little bit and he comes back and he's just a completely different person. It's a little bit intriguing for me. I think that's what holds the movie together, regardless whether it's a Brian De Palma film or not. I think Mickey Rourke pretty much saves the day in this movie, and pretty much every time he's on screen, I can't help but just watch him because I kind of miss Mickey Rourke. Alan was one of the first ones. I never saw the movie, but this steelbook came out, and it was a movie called Angel Heart, and I never watched it before. And I was like, "Go buy that fucking movie, and you will not regret it."
Yeah.
And I watched that movie, and I was like, fucking, thank God I had somebody with like a little bit of wisdom, like telling me, like, that's not a waste of money. Go get it. So, when I watch this movie, I kind of think about that as well. Of course, it was like, you know, the wrestler, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, shit like that. It's not on the same lines, nowhere near as good, but the fact that it's got like the old school Mickey Rourke before shit kind of went crazy for him, I like that a lot. This movie, so you can catch this for $20 during a Criterion sale. I'd say it's worth it. Try to get a little bit cheaper if you can used, but yeah, I'd say it's worth a good $20. It's a good watch, and big fucking names in this too. Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie. Oh shit, I'm trying to think of who else. You said Nicolas Cage just a while ago. What's his face from Reservoir Dogs? Sean Penn's brother.
Christopher Penn.
Christopher Penn. He's in it as well. Yeah, really, really good fucking solid flick. I'd say 4 out of 5 easy. So I returned to watch it, and fun little fact. So Matt Dillon's character in here, goddamn, they say his name in this movie, which his name is Rusty James. They must say his name at least 250 times in this movie. So we just moved into a new house, and we keep feeding a stray cat outside my house. But every night at 2 a.m., we have this fucking possum who sets our camera off on the door and lets us know that it's out there eating the cat food. And my wife's like, that fucking possum's annoying as shit. He's eating all the cat food. I'm going to call that motherfucker Rusty James. So as of last week, the possum's fucking name is now Rusty James. Thanks to fucking Matt Dillon.
All right. So my next one, I got a big load of magnet titles from Hamilton Book for like $4.95 a piece. And this was the one I was most excited about. It's 2020's Held. So I finally watched it. So basically, the synopsis is a couple's ailing marriage is put to the test when they're held hostage at an isolated vacation rental by an unseen voice that commands their every move. So they go to a very expensive, super high-tech vacation rental in the middle of nowhere, very far from everything. And it's this husband and wife, and obviously they've been having problems, but along the way, they get drugged. They wake up and they just hear a voice. There's cameras all over the vacation rental. Kind of put me in the mind of The Rental, a little bit of that. Obviously, twists and turns. I'll probably spoil it at some point here. So if you haven't seen this movie and want to check it out, wait till I'm come back when I'm done with this one. But $4.95, I would recommend it. I think I gave it 2.5 out of 5. But there's one element in it that was like 1 star alone for me. I really enjoyed. But so like the movie, I had some problems with right away. It's like this guy here is trying to make things right with his wife, who is this unfortunate looking creature. That's actually a good picture of her. It makes Elizabeth Moss look like a 10 out of 10. So it's like this rich guy, and he's got this ugly wife that he's trying to make things right with, and they're trying to go away on this vacation, and it's just like it doesn't that part doesn't make sense. And then it turns out that here comes the spoiler. It turns out that this is an organization, like a secret elite organization, that you can hire to basically frame your wife into getting her shit back together and behaving like a wife again. So you basically frame your wife for murder, and she like behaves herself suddenly because you carry that over her head the rest of it because you have all the footage and all that stuff. That's the idea behind it. And that twist I liked. I liked the whole angle behind it. And what I really liked about this thing is she discovers like this hidden room inside there, kind of that cohabitation horror thing that I talk about. She discovers this hidden room in there, and she watches like she finds the guy's computer that's running the whole thing, and she finds like a promotional video about the service that they have, this Elysium or whatever the hell company it is. The promotional video has testimonials from husbands and wives after they've gone through this treatment, and all the wives are like, it was wonderful. It made me love my husband more now than ever. It's just like, and you could just basically tell they're like being held at gunpoint. That alone is worth seeing the fucking movie for. But it's kind of average fare. Kind of put me in mind of Revenge. If you've seen Revenge, kind of that same quality, almost a foreign kind of stylized product. But for $4.95, it was a winner for me. That little propaganda piece that they have in there with the Stepford, now wives that are like Stepford life. What Stepford like is hilarious to me. But yeah, check it out. Maybe you can stream it. Maybe a one-time watch, but there's some entertaining stuff in there. But that's my third one here.
Dude, you definitely sold that shit though. So while you're going on about it, like the wife chimes in and she goes, "Did he just say unfortunate looking creature?"
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, so you would think like you're watching it and it's like, oh, this guy really, you get the sense this guy really loves his wife. He really wants to make it work. And then you see his wife, and then you're just going, what's the like? I mean, really, you couldn't find another one of those? Like, you into sea monsters? I didn't understand that part. Took me out of it a little bit. But yeah, I couldn't recommend it higher for $4.95. Let's put it that way.
Zully, I know you're watching, so just go ahead and order it because it's not going to end. Just fucking order it so we can watch it.
It's on Hamilton Book for $4.95. There's a lot of good magnet titles. A lot of good magnet titles on Hamilton Book right now for $4.95.
Praise God for Hamilton.
Always is.
Hey, Guy, what's going on?
What's up, caveman?
Another Sydney recommendation. Desperation Road, 2023. action crime thriller directed by Nadine Crocker, Mel Gibson, Garrett Hedlund. I'm in already. All you gotta do is say Mel Gibson, and I'm in. I'll definitely check that out.
God damn, man! Like Sidney Eubanks, man, like he fucking knows his shit.
Watches a lot of movies.
He's always a great. I've watched a lot of his recommendations, man. They're all good.
Kudos to you, man, just for not just copy and pasting shit in your comments too, man. Like he took the time to put all that shit in there too, man. Like, kudos to you, man.
Steve, did you watch? Oh yeah, did you watch Naked Cage in 10 minutes?
No, I sat down and watched the whole thing, and like I said, it's some not very exciting, you know.
Jet Scream, Naked Cage was half decent. Happy to have it. They're all about the same quality. It seems like woman in prison movies.
Yeah.
Jetstream, a better one from the Naked Vengeance Vendetta 2-pack is Vendetta. I love that one. Naked Vengeance is half-ass. Okay, we want to be whole-assed here.
Both booty cheeks, baby. Both booty cheeks.
Steve, I just seen the Scream Factory is releasing a collector's edition of Island of Dr. Moreau with a slick new slip. Have you guys seen it? The Lost Souls documentary on the Synapse? I have not seen the documentary or that movie, Island Dr. Moreau.
I've seen the movie Island Dr. Moreau. It's a fucking weird one, dude. They got some weird ass creatures in that movie.
I think Steve might have did a typo there because Lost Souls, I don't think is a Synops film release. I think that's a Severin film release, and that's a limited edition. Just let me look right quick. It'll take me 1 second. If it's a limited edition, I definitely fucking have it.
Sounds familiar. And David Gregory actually has a really good career as a documentarian. He's made some really good documentaries. All that Second Sight, all his making of Second Sight documentaries are David Gregory usually.
Yeah, Marlon Brando and the Island of Dr. Moreau, dude. That's a weird fucking dude. Marlon Brando. I think that's probably him in real life. The character he plays in that movie.
Yeah, he probably did. He probably meant to say Severin, not Synapse.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, definitely a Severin release right there.
But the Island of Dr. Moreau, man, it got shit on when it came out, man. It got fucking lambasted by everybody. And it's an okay movie. Like, it's not great. But there's certain scenes on it in it that's pretty fucked up. My favorite part of the movie is the little butler. It's some little weird little dude they fucking made. All their fucking creations they were making. Just that little butler he's great. It's just this little dude. He's like 2 foot tall. This ugly little bitch. But yeah. So if you watch the movie, pay attention to the little butler dude. He's like a little. I don't know what the fuck he is. And even the fucking main star of the movie is fucked up. So you guys are fucked in the head. He points to this dude. He said, "Look at this fucking guy," and he shows this guy, and it's so fucking funny, dude. That's the best part of the movie. But Marlon Brando, he's a weird motherfucker in that movie. He's terrible in it. Basically, it's the worst thing he's ever done.
He probably didn't even know his lines. I think
he just showed up on set, and it was a terrible role for him. But I enjoyed it. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. I used to go on HBO all the time. And I used to watch 10, 15 minutes here. I've seen the whole movie probably 3 times.
I mean, Alan, cool at talking about people's personal defects. Okay, these are human lives, human beings here.
Yeah. Okay, unfortunate little creature or whatever you said.
She looked like the witch from The Witch, after it was transformed. Right. Sydney movie recommendation: Sweet Virginia, 2017 thriller crime action directed by Jamie Dagg, John Berthal, Christopher Abbott. Yeah, I've never even heard of that. Sweet Virginia, thriller crime action.
I'm glad about last.
Did you guys ever? Sorry. Did you guys ever hear the story about John Berthal right before he started getting into acting and made his career, that he went to jail for basically beating some dude basically plumb near fucking from a thread from his holding on to life just because he kicked his dog?
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, he's walking his dog past. He's living in California or something. He walks his dog past this party, this frat party. Some drunk college kid comes out there just being an asshole and kicks his fucking dog. Well, John Berthal just beats this fucking kid within an inch of his life, and the cops are like, "Hey, he's in a hospital. We can't get him to breathe again. You're gonna go down for murder." And he's like, "Ugh." But thankfully, the dude fucking lived. So there you go.
It just lived, and now it's just battery or assault and battery or whatever.
I do love his podcast too. I usually listen to that on a weekly basis. I just don't like his. I don't care for his politics. That's for damn sure. But I do like his entertainment side of it. So
I haven't seen it. I didn't know he had a podcast.
yeah,
Not to back up here, but I have a couple underrated actors. Sam Rockwell
Oh yeah,
ooh,
and Carl Urban. I think Carl Urban's underrated.
yeah. Carl
I've never
Urban's
seen
here.
anything that Carl Urban's been in where he didn't make it better, whether it was a good show or bad. I think he makes everything better. I love Carl Urban, and I think Sam Rockwell he's fucking great now. He's great in everything.
Nobody on the overrated side.
I haven't come up with nothing for that yet, but the underrated side was fucking with me because there's quite a few of those. Because I actually thought about doing a top 5 on that subject, whatever. So there's quite a few of them. So I think we did our top 5, so we're done now. So
yeah.
You know what, man? I'll say this: as far as the underrated side goes, like I already said, fucking what's the big nose motherfucker's name for the overrated shit? Underrated. The kid Zulia will probably chime in on this, but he did a lot of the American Horror Stories.
oh yeah, fuck what's his name?
Evan
Peters.
Evan Peters. I still fucking think
he's great.
Like just a brilliant actor. I'm like, why are we not putting him in fucking horror movies? Because he'd be, or at least suspense movies or thrillers. Like he'd do a really good job at those. And
I can see him doing a remake of Psycho. Man, let him play Norman Bates. I think he could be a good Norman Bates.
Amen, brother.
I think he can pull it off.
If anybody can do it, that kid could probably fucking do it, man. You're right, Evan Peters. Yeah.
I mean, don't fucking do a remake of Psycho, but you know, we got enough Psycho.
Gus Van Sant already fucked that up for us.
It'll happen.
Eventually they'll redo it. Eventually, Psycho will get redone somewhere.
Where American Psycho is in production to be remade. They're in pre-production on it.
Yeah.
Just remember, guys, when there's always $1 to be made, some Jew will crawl out of a hole to get it.
Yep. Sydney Rumblefish 3.5 out of 5. Solid from Sydney.
All right.
Is there a Shout Factory sale going on?
There is.
Okay.
There is. It's called Ticket to Save. It's it says it's up to 60% off of Shout Select titles. So
yeah, you never see those go on sale, really.
I have all the Shout Select titles, so it does me no good.
Yeah.
It just pisses me off that I see that I could have waited and bought them cheaper. But
I still need that Cheech and Chong next movie.
Yeah. Their Shout Select line's got a lot of good movies, man. A lot of good ones.
I think the only one I actually own is the film that I bought while you were standing right beside me, which was Wild at Hearts. Because I told you, well, we were sitting in the bar drinking. I'm like, I'm not leaving that store if they got a copy of that shit without it being in my bag. So,
yep. And that's I guess you would call that a prequel or a side story of Durango.
Durango. Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know
that character very young.
Yeah, it's just a very loose reference at the end of it.
Yeah, it's a different actress.
Movies kind of reminds me of like earlier pinpoint time of like Natural Born Killers for some reason.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of falls in that line.
I've seen Wild at Heart with Willem Dafoe getting his brains blown out.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. But yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. You can't spoil a David Lynch movie. Steve, it's a documentary about Richard Stanley trying to put the movie together and it falling apart in production because the antics of Brando and Kilmer. Yeah. I've heard it's a good documentary.
Well, I just got a notification that my bank card was just charged for a Blu-ray copy of Held. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, it just cost you $4. I'm pretty man. Just tons of people in Rumblefish. Yeah, big cast. I don't know what's the other one with Matt Dillon and all Tom Cruise.
Outsiders.
The Outsiders, similar type of thing.
Yeah. I think The Outsiders is much better. I grew up on The Outsiders.
Yeah.
I watched that a lot more.
Yeah.
But
a lot of nostalgia for that movie.
Yeah.
Pony Boy.
Oh, yeah. Pony Boy Curtis.
Steve saying, I think the Scream Factory sale just ended for Valentine's Day week. Yeah. He's talking about Shout Select. Yeah, Held. I think Caveman saying it's on Hulu.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out.
That'll just happen. Yeah, right on. I hope you like it. Hope it's good for your marriage. could just see Johnny watching it going, bitch, you better act right. I'm going to call these people.
Shit, I'm gonna call immigration. But like, let's see how fucking valid that green card is.
Gabe Man saying Desperation Road is an excellent. Yeah, that sounds great to me with that new Mel Gibson. And I think I remember hearing about that. Now that
Tell me, why am I thinking of a? That's twice it's been brought up. Desperation Road. Why am I thinking of a Stephen King movie?
Desperation
Well, he's got a book called Desperation, and the name of the town is Desperation. And I think they did a TV movie. I think there was a TV movie based on the book, if I remember correctly, like a miniseries.
Gotcha.
I like The Stand, if I remember correctly. It might have been a full movie, but I want to say me and my daughter watched it. And I want to say that it was a miniseries on TV, if I remember correctly.
Miniseries. Sounds about right.
Middle of the road Stephen King. It was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Severin. Guy's saying that him and the wife are going to watch Dragonheart. Oh, that's a good one with the what's his fucking name? The old English guy, Scottish guy, whatever the hell he was.
Okay, man, just watch Braveheart instead. If you're gonna watch a movie with the word "heart" in it, just watch Braveheart. That's a much better film.
The voice is done by
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Yeah.
I've never seen that whole movie. I've seen bits and pieces. That's another one that came on HBO all the time, and I'd always catch a piece here, a piece there, but never watched it.
Yeah, so the Island of Dr. Moreau, the movie is crazy. I've heard it sucks. But yeah, the documentary, sometimes the documentary is better than the damn movie.
Of course.
Yeah, he's right. The movie does suck, whatever. There's something about it when you get into it and start watching it, kind of draws you in a little bit, but the movie is pretty much, it's just shit. You can tell it's not very
the story.
And Marlon Brando's phoning it in big time.
Oh, and the disappearance itself. I mean, that plays a big part in it. I mean, there's a lot of fucking money that kind of went missing there for a bit too. So
yeah.
Oh, speaking of Marlon Brando, let's go with this. I'm a huge fucking fan of course, Apocalypse Now, but I try to get my wife to watch this movie constantly. There's a little test of this shit too. She's just like, I don't know what it is about that movie. I can't really get into it. Like, I got it. It's a war film, blah blah blah. But I'm like, I don't think nobody really realizes like what the studio had to go through to get Marlon Brando to do that film, and then when he signed on to do it, all the shit they sacrificed to do it. So he wouldn't read the script unless the studio gave him $20,000, which they agreed to do. What they didn't realize was he went to this fucking crazy island, not in the movie, of course, but Marlon Brando had a thing for the Darker Sisters, but he went to this fucking island, got really fat, packed on like fucking 140 pounds, right? So the studio's thinking like he's going to be this perfect character for this AWOL fucking sergeant who goes crazy, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, they're looking at his new reels that he's sending in and his new photos and shit. They're like, God, he's packed on so much weight. So the studio found out, okay, in his scenes, we're going to put him in like the very back of the cave. It's going to be very dim lit. We cannot show him whatsoever being as obese as he is and blah, 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 and all this shit. And I was trying to explain this to my wife. I'm like, you just don't realize what Marlon Brando, like how much pull he had fucking back in the day. Everybody just knows him as from The Godfather. And like, he was just this legendary actor, but there was so much more shenanigans he fucking pulled like in the fucking film entertainment business where he just walked away with a ton of money and basically didn't do shit. Like he just did what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Everybody wanted to work. I've heard it all the time. Everybody wanted to work with him and they'd forego pieces of their salary just to work with Brando, and it would all go to Brando. And he was just like a mythical creature.
Kind of like his part of the first Superman movie. The Christopher Reeve first Superman movie, whatever, you know, they paid him an ungodly amount of money for that little bitty fucking scene he was in. You know.
Yep. But it's the name that was just attached to it, man. Like he knew he had it too. Like he could just no fucks was given. Like you can't help but respect that because that's kind of like a very rebellious attitude, especially for the movie industry at that time. Like you'd probably get blackballed immediately today in that industry. But for like what studio is paying an actor $20,000 just to read a script? You know what I mean? Does Tom Cruise get fucking paid to read one script?
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right. So here you go, Alan. City Eubanks, Kevin Bacon, name your 3 favorite movies from him. Also give the ratings on all 3.
I'm going to go Stir of Echoes.
It's a good one.
I'm going to give Stir of Echoes, I want to go 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
I love Stir of Echoes.
Death Sentence.
Y'all fuck with me if you want, whatever. But goddamn Footloose, man. I'm an '80s kid. I fucking love Footloose back in the day. Still do. You know, it's dated as fuck, but I still love Footloose. That's going to be a 4 out of 5. It's a childhood thing. And fucking goddamn, what's something else I like Kevin Bacon in? I like Kevin Bacon in about everything he's done.
Just don't say Wild Things because his dick was in that.
Mm-hmm. Tremors.
Oh fuck yeah, Tremors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tremors 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, that's gonna be my favorite Kevin Bacon. Is gonna be Tremors. Yeah, I love Tremors.
So the 0.5.
And Fred Ward Tremors are perfect.
0.5 that you took away from, is that just because Reba McEntire was in the film, or something?
I try to stay away from 5s too much. Whatever 5s are reserved for the Jaws of the Rockies and shit like that, stuff like that. You got to be
Tremors. It'd be hard to argue that's not a perfect film, along with Jaws.
Perfect
adventure, thing. I'd say Dead Silence, Hollow Man.
Yeah.
You said Dead Silence. You mean Death Sentence?
Death Sentence, not Dead Silence. Death Sentence.
Oh fuck! Let me back up a minute. Hold on. Death Sentence is something I watched last year. Death Sentence is probably going to be. Death Sentence is number 1. Death Sentence is number 1. It's a hard 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that fucking movie. Yeah.
Fair.
These are questions I need time to think about. I can't just do this on I need to get off YouTube.
Yeah.
Y'all need to send me these questions a week ahead of time.
Death Sentence, Hollow Man, and probably Tremors. I'd say they're probably all 4 out of 5s for me.
Yeah, I think Death Sentence is probably one of my favorite things I've seen him do. He does a great job of being every man into having to be a badass or trying to be a badass. And that movie's it's pretty flawless for me. I love that movie.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, John?
For me, it's going to be, of course, man. Like, let's say number 1 would be Tremors. Number 2 would be Tremors. Number 3 would be Tremors.
Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood's pretty good with them.
Yeah. What's the other film that he did with what's his name that did all the films with Will Ferrell? Where they're going down the river and the fucking
River Wild. That's another good one.
River Wild. Yeah, man, that was a great fucking flick with him too, man. He was a fucking psycho in that boat, man.
Yeah.
But
he's got another one called Summer. God damn it, he's like a camp counselor that takes these kids on a mountain trip. I can't remember, but basically he turns out to be the psychopath, or this hardcore, not psychopath, but he basically puts these kids through hell. Summer, somebody in the chat on K-Ben probably knows this. It was a fucking late '80s movie, whatever that and the fucking kids that
Whitewater Summer.
What's it called?
Whitewater Summer.
Yes, that's it. He's got the kid from the
You
Goonies.
got that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Steve's saying Super. That's a good pick too. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and Stir of Echoes. Solid picks.
Yeah.
Stir of Echoes, man. That shit changed the game, man. When that shit dropped, man, that was another one that was just came out of nowhere.
What's up, Steve?
Steve, what's going on? So he's telling us Evan Peters was the kid's name.
Yep.
Hagen, I watched Evan in the Dahmer series. It was pretty good, yeah.
Yep.
Fucking 10 out of 10 for me. Look, man, and then I know Brad's like sitting there going like he really just said 10 out of 10, but because there's a lot of gay shit in there, but we all know Jeffrey Dahmer's
quality show.
So you gotta have it.
It wasn't like it was a badly made show or anything, and he's really good at
dancing scenes. The dancing scenes were way too fucking much, though. I will say that. Like they held weight, like you just said about Al Pacino and fucking Heat, like that the holding scene with the black mom and all that shit. And you're just like, all right, dude, like why are we holding on this shit? But and that the dancing scenes were the same for me. It was like, all right, man, like we got it. The dude's fucking gay, man. Like we ain't got to see him grind up on some other dude. You know what I mean? Like fuck. But there it was.
That's just his opinion, though.
That's just
my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, listen, you know how I feel about Heat. I always say it's a 5 out of 10. There's so much 10 out of 10 stuff in it that's awesome, and to me, I think there's an equal amount of 0 out of 10 that I would cut out of the movie that I think hurts the movie. But that again, that's just my opinion. I actually changed Heat one day. I cut it just to see what I could take out of it, just for fun, and it's 2 hours. My version is exactly 2 hours, so I took about an hour out of it.
I wouldn't never even watch that movie again, knowing if Tom Sizemore wasn't in it. Tom Sizemore is my favorite character.
I love that
Even
character.
just his characteristics. Whenever the whole thing goes fucking bad and they walk back in the diner and he knows like, oh shit, let me get up out of this seat because this motherfucker's gonna sit right next to him and jack this bitch up against the wall. Like it was just his character. He already knew he saw what was coming. Like
That
he was
same
the safety
scene,
man on the back.
The same scene, they're kind of roughing up Waingro. And there's a guy that's just kind of looking a little too long, like he wants to get involved in this. Tom Sizemore is just like, I'm sorry, you need something over here? You want to get involved in this? Like that's a great scene.
And a look, man, that look he gave too ain't like a how you doing look. It's like you want to fucking look a little bit longer.
Yeah. Like this gray is natural. I'm 27 years old. Like he's like, it was just a really weird character. And he had little lines, obviously. He's asking Neil if he thinks it's the right thing to do. And he's like, nah, you should probably not do it, dude. This is a bad one. Nobody should
Cut
do
and
this.
run.
And he's like, nah, I'm doing it anyway. The action is the juice.
Right. The action is the juice, baby.
Yeah.
Same thing with Saving Private Ryan. I love that fuck out of that movie, but Tom Sizemore's not in it. That movie would have took a big hit for me.
Yeah. Too bad he loved heroin more than acting.
I know it, man.
Dave G, any thoughts on the trailer release today? The Strangers Chapter 1. Yeah, we talked about it. Looks like a damn remake of the first. Heard it's a prequel trilogy. I mean, it's just going to be more of the same. I'm sure it'll be of a certain quality, but who knows? We'll see. Guys saying before Dragonheart, Jurassic Park was famous for having a 26-minute of digitally created character. After seeing Jurassic Park, the director knew how to make that movie. He had been working on. Okay, it's an animated dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Speaking of Jurassic Park, Alan, what was Clint Eastwood's ex-wife's name that was in Every Which Way But Loose? What was her name?
Alan, you don't know it off the top of your head? You got nothing there?
He just took a sip of beer and he's like, this motherfucker's setting me up for doom.
What's her fucking name?
Sandra Lockhart.
Sandra Locke. Yes, it's Sandra Locke. Sandra Locke.
Clint Eastwood has terrible taste in women.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible.
But she was a nice girl though, right, Brad?
I don't know, but she seemed like a psycho. She seemed like a psycho. It seems like he likes psychos. Seems like that's what his thing is.
I'm not gonna buy it. But yeah, let's sum it up in one scene. Go watch a movie called Any Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood, Sandra Locke. The first time she gets on stage and sings, I want you to watch that, and you're immediately gonna hate her guts. So usually I'll watch that movie until she gets on stage to sing, and I'll turn it off. So it takes me right out of the movie. She should never be in Hollywood. If she wouldn't have sucked Clint Eastwood's dick, she would have never been on film. And I'll stand by that. I know she's gone, rest in peace, bless her heart. But she should never have been an actress. She was fucking Clint Eastwood is how she got a role. And then she turns around and tries to sue him for ruining her fucking career. He stopped fucking her. You know,
So if she would have been casted in The Beguiled, do you think it would have been a better film?
She would have casted in what?
The Beguiled? Is that the movie you was telling me about?
She put in that. She was in fucking Josie Wales.
Josie Wales. No. It was what was the homoerotica film from Clint Eastwood, the '80s flick that he tried to make into like a slasher, but it was.
Oh, you're talking about fucking Tightrope.
Tightrope.
No, he's talking about Beguiled.
The Beguiled came out in the '70s.
Did it come out in the '70s?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a little bit before the Every Which Way But Loose then. No, I fucked that
I
up.
think Beguiled came out before fucking Sandra Locke. I think Josie Wales was when he started fucking Sandra Locke.
She was all right in Gauntlet, I thought. I mean, she played like a whore. I mean, there you go, Alan. Yeah. She played her. And
like I said, the first time that I really ever seen her from memory was when she sang in Any Which Way But Loose. And dude, she's a terrible actress. I don't know. But like I said, Clint Eastwood fucking got those guts and she got a career.
So Clyde the Orangutan probably could have said that, sang that song a little bit better, in your opinion.
Yeah, Clyde the Orangutan can fucking act circles around her ass. Right turn, Clyde.
You heard it here first, people. There you go.
Yeah, bless her heart.
That's just his opinion.
But it's just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. You know.
Yeah.
Like I
Now,
said,
if her gums were on fire, would you possibly urinate on them?
there's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah.
So
She's dead and gone. That poor woman. Steve, never seen Dragonheart, but I never felt the Rain of Fire. Got the I like Rain of Fire a lot better than Dragonheart. You guys seen Rain of Fire?
I don't think I have.
It's an apocalyptic movie.
yeah, it's got Matthew McConaughey and somebody else big in it.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, right? I've seen edit. I've never seen the whole movie. I've seen bits and pieces. My son was watching it one night, and I caught right in the middle of it.
Well, what it is, it's an apocalyptic movie. It starts off in London, and they find this cave under London, and they find a dragon from the olden times that's just been hibernating down there. And so it's an enormous dragon, and it just burns the whole fucking, breeds and burns the whole fucking world. And that's why they call it Rain of Fire. And it's, like I said, the apocalypse is because of dragons. So it's an interesting concept.
All right, then.
Sydney's asking what favorite horror movies from the 2000s. That could be a top 5. High Tension's a winner. Yeah, hard to argue that.
100%. But you
Evil
know what?
Dead.
I'll sell it again, man. Like, I was really surprised by fucking Eli Roth Thanksgiving. Like, it just makes me want to watch it again so quick. And I only just watched it just that one time, just maybe a week or two ago. And I'm just like, man, like that fucking opening for that Black Friday sale was just
I
fucking
watched
gnarly.
it with Ryan, Dr. Ordinary. Me and him watched it, whatever. And I need to watch it again. I liked it, whatever. But to me, it was a little all over the place, whatever. But I did like it. We both liked it. But I feel like it was a little all over the place.
It was a little messy, I thought, too. But it was a good time.
The opening scene was brutal.
Inside, about the same thing. High Tension, Inside.
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
I need to order that release, by the way. I want to get that box set, or that fan set, that deluxe set, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Hagen, there needs to be a movie called The Mud Whore.
I'd watch that shit quick.
That's a fucking Cyber release right there.
Dirty fucking gutter mud whore.
Yeah, the DiCaprio film. That's a fucking crazy movie at the end too.
That's probably the only DiCaprio film I haven't watched yet. I know that Allie was recommending that the other day. I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's basically an abortion scene that takes place in the bathroom with a clothes hanger. It's fucking gnarly too. It's like, whoa.
I'm pretty sure that's the only DiCaprio film I haven't seen.
Yep.
Guys, saying every time I hear the name Desperation Road, it makes me think of Revolutionary Road.
Yeah.
No, not familiar with that. Aubrey Manis, The Hills Have Eyes, Dawn of the Dead, Loved Ones, Inside, High Tension, 13 Ghosts, stuff from the 2000s.
Yeah, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake too. 2003.
I like that prequel even more than the remake. The beginning.
The beginning. I did too, man. See, fucking everybody goes nuts for that Michael Bay film, but I'm like, the beginning where it was for me, man. That was fucking great.
What else did Michael Bay even direct?
The fucking he was producer on the Friday the 13th remake. Armageddon, bitch. Of course, Armageddon. But me and Ryan rewatched the Friday the 13th remake. We're getting ready for that convention because the whole fucking cast is going to be at that convention. Yeah. And dude, the Friday the 13th remake is so fucking good, dude. I don't give a fuck. It's so
a blast. Good. It's a lot of fun, and
it's a blast, man. It's one of my favorites, man. I love it. So,
not a lot of like remakes. Guy, don't get Alan Sir, Jennifer Tilly again, or any Tilly. Played Misty for me while Rain of Stars.
That was Tom Clancy's first directed movie, first directorial film. First movie he fucking directed. Trying to get all fancy there. I don't need to be doing that.
Yeah,
but yeah, he it's a good one, man. If you ain't never seen it, man, it's a little dated, but it's a solid flick, man. Crazy bitch.
Wrangler talking about Rain of Fire, good. Surprised that doesn't have a release from somebody. Another one that could be a great black and white version.
Mm-hmm.
Dave G, one of my favorites from the 2000s, Session 9. I think my girl was just recommending that to me. I haven't seen.
Me and Ryan watched that one a while back. Whatever, that was one he recommended. I watched whatever. It was a solid flick, man. I liked it.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. I think I have a copy of it somewhere.
Scream Factory originally put it out, then it kind of got reprocessed through the mill there for a little bit. I think Second Sight even done a release of that, or maybe Eureka. I can't remember which one it was.
I think Umbrella put a really nice set out for that movie. I think it was Umbrella. Maybe I don't fucking remember. Somebody put out a nice like special edition of it.
Yeah, maybe it was Second Sight. I think it might have been Second Sight.
It might have been Second Sight.
Wild Wrangler, my father's favorite film all time, Dallas Daisy Wells. That's like an old guy
I
staple.
got that motherfucker right there with the poster up there, man. I love that movie.
Which is better, the Outlaw Jizzy Wales or the one where he plays the devil? It's a Western too, but he plays like the devil in that small town.
You're talking about fucking Pale Rider?
No, not Pale Rider.
Pale Rider. Well, fucking
It's a Kino too. It's also a Kino 4K.
Not Joe Kid.
No, not Joe Kid. Move on. I'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah, but I think they're kind of similar. Rain of Fire also had Gerard Butler. Yeah, a pretty big cast back then.
Especially I was on the 300 era too, man. So he was getting every fucking film that was given opportunity to him.
Praying Mantis, just watched Thanksgiving. Good. Yeah, I liked it for sure. Praying Mantis, I think Steve's talking about the Thanksgiving, the big fucking huge Black Friday sequence that really paid off because you're sitting there, you're watching it going, okay, this, you're out there with the crowd and you're like, there's no way this is going to, and then it just really delivers. Steve, the F-13 remake was great. Derek Mears killed it as Swamp Thing in the miniseries too. I hadn't seen the Swamp Thing miniseries.
He was also a predator in that movie Predators. So he was one of the predators in that. So
he was in one of the Hatchet movies too. He's had a pretty good career.
Yeah, I'm thinking about taking my Friday the 13th box set from Screen Factory and getting them to sign, get some signatures on it. At least get his.
It'd be easy. Just take the damn box. You don't have to take the movies.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the box. I'm gonna take that, my Blair Witch Steelbook, get that signed because they're gonna be down there. And I'm gonna take my Children of the Corn. I'm gonna drink some corn whiskey with Isaac, with Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
So
Steve
pretty
saying,
proud of fucking Malachi. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I've watched Children of the Corn so many, him and fucking the Burbs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited about meeting him. So that should be pretty cool.
Steve saying Second Sight is the one who did that. Release of Session 9. Sydney saying movie recommendations. Single Shot, 2019 or 2013 drama directed by David Rosenthal, Sam Rockwell, William H. Macy.
Another underrated fucking actor, William H. Macy. I don't know, would you call him underrated? I would think so.
Probably. I mean, he's character.
He got a lot of notoriety after Fargo, though, right?
Yeah, finally,
really notoriety.
And Shameless. He's fucking great. Shameless.
Jeffrey Wright's great too. He plays Gordon in the new Batman movies.
Was that Shameless? Was what his character Frank Gallagher, right?
Oh yeah, Frank Gallagher is a fucking. He's awesome. He's a fucked up individual, dude, but he's awesome.
Cashing dead woman's social security checks, baby.
He does some fucking rock gut dirty shit in that show.
Get that shit right.
We're rounding the bases here, down to number 4.
All right. I don't know if I want to recommend this one or not. If you're really into really fucked up movies, I'd probably recommend it. That's gonna be Pig Killer. And
what?
Jake Busey's in this, and he's the star. And this is based on. They say this is based on a true story. You know how that goes. It's inspired by the terrifying story of Robert Willie Picton, the pig farmer and prolific killer of women, whose horrific crimes shocked the world. But I think it's loosely based on that. But basically, you got Jake Busey in this. He owns a pig farm, and once a year he throws this big ass gala. Where he has live band, people comes out and parties, do drugs on his fucking pig farm. And this motherfucker goes and picks up prostitutes, brings them back, puts them in his camper, puts on a fucking pig mask, and has his way with them. And let's just say that until you see Jake Busey have sex with a girl with a pig mask, put it this way, you'll never unsee it. You'll never unsee it. I mean, we're talking about Jake Busey. I'm pretty sure it's probably a body double, but Jake Busey fucking pulls his dick out, and it shows a lot. So be prepared. But Jake Busey has sex with this girl with a pig mask on, and then he gets a pink dildo, puts it on a pistol as a silencer. Now this dildo's got a pig on it, like a little rubber pig. He puts a dildo on a gun as a silencer, and then blows this girl's brains out after he fucks her. And actually,
just came.
I think he's already. I think he's already choked her to death when he fucked her. So I think she's already dead because he's already choked her. Then he fucking shoots her in the mouth. But yeah, like I said, there's some fucked up shit in this movie. But if you're a fan of Jake Busey, which I am, as soon as I seen this trailer and seen he was the main star playing a serial killer, it was I blind bought this in a second. And it's kind of uneven a little bit. It's kind of slow in parts. It's not a very well made movie. The worst thing I can say about this is the fucking music. It plays. You can tell there was a lot of. It feels like there was a lot of like real shitty house bands that the director maybe was friends of or knew, and they threw all this weird ass music that did not match the movie at all. The music was too loud throughout the movie. The music was terrible. The band they picked to play on the fucking big ass gala they have at the end of the movie is fucking horrible. So the music will definitely take you out of this. The music is really probably my biggest gripe about this movie. Did I make any more notes? I said pretty bad music. Don't really fit the movie. And make sure if you watch this to stay after the credits, whatever. You got to watch the credits because there's probably a 3 or 4 minute scene after the credits you really need to see. It's worth watching. So when you watch this, make sure you stay through the credits, watch the end scene because there's a big scene with Gary Busey that you really need to check out. Or Jake Busey, sorry. Is there anybody else in this? Oh, the girl that's in this, the kind of plays the hero. Kate Patel. Nobody knows who she is. But it's really funny. You could tell that during filming, she decided to get some Botox. And there's a couple scenes. One, when she's in the hospital, pay attention when she's in the hospital laying in the bed. Her fucking lips, man, she's got some big ass fucking flappers. She got some bad Botox, and them motherfuckers are swole. It's like, what the fuck? The next scene, her lips are fine. Or later in the movie, her lips are fine. But the one scene, we can tell her fucking Botox was all fucked up. They said, well, we got to film, so they just filmed it. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to say too much more. It's one of those movies. If you're into shit like this, you're gonna dig this. If you're not, don't waste your time because it's a pretty fucked up movie. There's some pretty fucked up scenes in it. Be prepared though; it is a little uneven. You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch it. There's kind of ebbs and flows a little bit, but overall, when the movie ended, I said, yeah, that was good. But make sure you stay after the credits scene. You need to watch that credit scene after the credits. Yeah, man, this is staying in the collection. I was a fan of it. I will definitely rewatch it. So
You sold me on it. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome partner label or?
Yes, I believe Dark Star.
Oh yeah, Dark Star is good releases.
But there's also a dude in this, whatever. No offense, this is the guy's name in the movie, but they call him Chink, and he has a what do you call this thing? You got a hole in your neck?
Tracheotomy.
Yeah,
whatever.
but this motherfucker ain't got one that's all made up nice from a doctor. He's got a long fucking tube hanging out, and the whole time he's fucking talking, whatever. First time you meet this fucking guy, he's a portly fella. He's a Chinese dude, or whatever he is, and he's getting a blowjob. And he's not the kind of guy that you want to see any guy get a blowjob in a movie. You don't expect this guy to be getting a blowjob. He's getting a blowjob. He's got his fucking tracheotomy. He has to fucking hold the air hose so he can talk. So when he his finger of the air hose to fucking talk. And let's just say that him getting the blowjob is probably one of the nastiest things I've ever seen in my life. It's rough.
Johnny just bought 2 copies.
Oh, you should just fucking sell them.
So, and there's some other shit too. I don't want to spoil anything else in the movie, but if you're a Jake Busey fan, I'm a fan of all the Buseys. If you're a Jake Busey fan, man, this is a no-brainer. Get it. He's played a serial killer. How many times do you get to see that? So
Just this once, I guess.
yeah, it's a good. I'm probably overselling it, man, because I'm a big Jake Busey fan. And I went into it with high hopes, but I wouldn't let down. It wasn't as good as I was hoping, but I said it was definitely something I'm going to rewatch, and I recommend to y'all fucking weirdos. So
That's a high recommendation from Alan.
I feel Johnny's going to love it. Brad's going to say it's okay.
Well, there you go.
That's my prediction.
Sold me on it, man. It fucking sounds great, man. All right, here we go. Right here, it's like I said in the beginning, guys. It was one of those things where I was hoping I was going to bring some new bangers to especially for the last 5. Just forgive me, but hopefully this will be another one that gives me brownie points. Like I said, during that whole Saturday night thing, coming back after we went out to dinner, went to go cracking Carlito's Way, and I was sitting there talking about a couple different movies. And my wife was like, never seen Heat. So I was like, okay, well, fuck Carlito's Way. Let's get to that first. And then while we was watching that, I mentioned this film, and she was like, I barely remember anything except for this scene at a diner, and he pulls this big portfolio kind of picture out of his wallet. And I was like, that's the only thing you remember about this movie. We're going to rewatch it then. And that's none other than one of the best films of all time.
Oh, hell yeah.
James Caan's Thief. So I'd already done watched fucking Heat, and I was like, let's go for this one right here, another Michael Mann film. So a film right here where you can see where pretty much if you're in the street, Michael Mann had a water truck right there on demand because every street in this fucking movie's wet. You can see the glare off of any car. Cinematography for this movie, I think, is probably better than any Giallo film you're probably going to watch. I know I probably just got a lot of hate just saying that shit right there, but as far as cinematography, I think Michael Mann had it for this film. But
and
you know
every
what?
time you mention Thief, Brad gets $20. Brad has sold more copies of that movie on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'll say this, man. Like I've stole this shit from Brad so many times whenever I've come to say anything about this movie, and the only thing I can do is just take fucking words out of his mouth by saying this is a real man's movie. Like this is a man's fucking flick right here. It's a man's world. That's it. The revenge plot at the end of this movie, I think, is one of the best. It all just goes to shit really quick. Kind of reminds me of Heat a little bit, where like Robert De Niro would say, like, you know, don't be attached to something that you can't just fucking turn at the corner in 30 seconds and leave behind, because pretty much he's waking his wife up and his fucking adopted kid, and they're just like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Like I'm about to blow the world up. And that's exactly what he goes for. Man, the protagonist in this movie, like you couldn't ask for a fucking better one. The first time they meet, of course, James Caan rolls up to this meeting. He's unbeknownst, he's got like a couple of fucking undercover guys like watching him, not to mention he's got his partner watching him through a scope. But the conversation that happens between these two, where he's just like, hey, I'm not a corporate guy. Like I work by myself. I'm a loner. Like I don't fucking need to share points with nobody. I think that is probably one of James Caan's best dialogues I've ever seen in history. And to be a fan of Misery as such as I am, this movie fucking takes that by storm. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this, and hopefully you pick this up if you don't have it during that Criterion flash sale. If you did, kudos to you. If you've never seen this, I highly recommend it. It's probably one of the top 5, definitely one of the top 5 Criterions that I have. I know Arrow put it out back in the day. I think that was Arrow Academy, though, because they came out with a slip forward. I could be wrong. Could have been Arrow Video, could have been Arrow Academy. I don't know what the better release is, but they can release a 4K of this, and I'll snatch it up day one.
It'll definitely happen.
This movie's,
it's gonna happen.
If it does, it's a good enough fucking movie where I will double dip on this just for the scan alone, even if there's no new features, no nothing. I'll definitely go for it. But yeah,
that's definitely a Criterion staple. If you only have 5 Criterions, that needs to be one of them.
This is this is like one of those. I think there's about 4 movies in all, but this is that one film that I can listen to Brad talk about where I'm just like, he's making me love that fucking movie even more than I realized. So thanks to Brad. Like this is definitely. I've held this movie up multiple times, whether it's like a top 5 Criterion or top 5 films that I saw this year that I think we done one time for a stream for. But every time I kind of gravitate back towards this film. And since the wife was like, I just remember this one scene in the diner where he's like trying to hook up with this chick, and he's like trying to like be so fucking forthright. And he's just like, well, I got my future plan, and I pull this photo out of my wallet. Here's my buddy, and here's the house that I want. Here's the wife. Here's the kid that I want. And he's like, this is what I want, and I'm going to stop at nothing until I get it. And that's all she remembered of it. And I was like, no, we're going to watch this fucking movie.
You can either be on the team or off the team. You know, make your decision here, because this is what's happening. It's a movie about being a man. That's really what it is.
I want to say this right now. I think I love Heat so much, but I think Heat is a better film than Heat. I really do. I like this film a lot better than Heat.
First film, Michael Mann's first film, and it's Robert Prosky's first film at like age 50 or whatever the fuck he was, playing the villain in the movie. It's just lightning in a bottle, I think.
It is. 100%. So hopefully holding up, especially 2 films such as like Heat and Thief, even though these are films that these guys like know like the back of their hand. Hopefully I got like a little bit of brownie points for showing up with old movies to the last 5, but I'm just trying to be true. Brad will test this. I texted him right before this, and I was hoping that he would like give me like a little bit of a guideline for rules for this. Like, hey, like if it's an old movie you've already seen, you can't throw it up for the last 5, because I'm like, okay, well I got to dig something else out. Like as far as when I went back, last week. But to stay honest with it, that's it. Heat and Thief. That was kind of like my double feature
Yeah,
for Saturday
that's what
night.
it is, man. Just simple. What the last 5 things you watched? Let's talk about it.
They're not all going to be winners. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it's just they're horrible, and that's part of blind buying and blind watching. This fourth one here from 1973. It's The Crazies, the original. George A. Romero written and directed. I like the remake a lot. I like this one a lot. I'd have to watch them both back to back and see which one's better. I would probably lean towards the remake still. It's just it's a bigger story and a little bit, I don't know, darker, even though this is very dark. But basically what this is, it takes place in north of Pittsburgh in a very small town. It's shot there, and what it is a plane crashes that's carrying an experimental vaccine that they converted to a bioweapon, and the government soon takes over the entire town. Nobody knows anything, but the bioweapon is called Trixie, and it causes the populace to become insane and attack each other, become volatile. And the government swoops in. They're all in white suits and masks. They're not giving a lot of information. They're shooting to kill. They're trying to quarantine the area, and they're threatening to blow the whole town up, basically, to stop this virus from spreading. They're threatening to nuke the entire town. Heavy on the government propaganda. The government is what you're afraid of in this. Even though there are people killing each other, like it opens with a dad destroying his house, filling it full of kerosene with his kids there, and he's going to burn it down. And really, you're less afraid of the people in the town. You're more afraid of the government, who are just like these. They're just they're stealing. They're doing whatever the fuck they want. And meanwhile, the suits behind the scenes are basically like, yeah, we got planes flying over to drop the bomb if we can't keep this under wraps. There's this captain that it's introduced about halfway through, and he starts to kind of relay information. And I've heard complaints that this is slow. I didn't get that at all. It felt almost like an action movie to me. It's more action, than horror. But the horrific part is the government overtones, I felt, and the government they're even shooting animals. They're shooting people that are running away. I enjoyed it. I think I was talking to my girl about this, and she recommended the movie because my favorite parts, I think I was saying about Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I like the parts where like the posses kind of come together and try to rebuild, at the end of night and in the middle of dawn, where you see the posses like hanging out, drinking beers, and they're shooting zombies. Like I liked all that stuff. And this is basically the whole movie of that. It's the small town, the civilians versus the government, and getting run down by them. And there's some good kills, very low budget, but it has a certain charm about it. I really enjoyed it. I've only seen it the one time, but I look forward to watching it again and comparing it to the remake, which I also really loved. So if I was going to give it right now, I'd still say the remake just a touch better. Maybe this is a 3 out of 5, and that's a 3.5 out of 5. But I think they're both great. And if you pass on this because you heard it was boring, this is way more interesting than Dawn of the Dead, in my opinion. This is a lot more shit going on. Dawn of the Dead is a lot of hanging out in that mall. This is nonstop. So if you've slept on it because you heard it was boring, definitely check it out. It's a winner and pretty good release. A lot of features on this one. But yeah, I was a big fan. I'm looking forward to checking it out again.
The original, I got it on the shelf. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's a fun one, man.
I really like the remake.
And it's a good companion to Night. It takes place. It's shot in between Night and Dawn, but it's a good companion to those. Very similar feel, obviously written and directed by Romero, so you're going to get the same kind of stuff. But I really enjoyed it.
Super stoked, man. You like that as much as you do, man. Because I kind of, whenever you was pulling that for the Aerocell and I saw that in your cart, I was like, man, like it's the best of the Between the Night and Dawn set, but I was kind of like thinking like, ooh, man, it might be a little bit slow for you, but man, you got a lot of.
I love a government conspiracy. I love the government.
The whole thing with the Argento cut. Like I know you're just like, man, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? But
and you got like these two brothers. They're not brothers, but they're like brothers. They're both firefighters, and it's kind of a similar Dawn vibe where one's more stoic and grounded and the other one's more wild and careless. And but the whole time there are people doing crazy shit to each other. People are getting stabbed with like knitting needles and whatnot. And you're not really worried about them. You're worried about the fucking government that's just like shooting anything that moves. Just because you're running, you must be, infected. And they're literally talking about nuking the whole fucking area just to stop the virus. The way it ends and they airlift the captain out, it's just like, oh, here it goes again. It's a very similar, but also very different than the remake. So like I said, I like both. Couldn't argue with either. Wrangler saying Children of the Corn 40 years ago. Wow. Does it seem right, Alan?
It don't seem right. But...
the year I was born, right there.
Yeah. Jamie, what's going on?
What's up, Jamie?
Wild Wrangler, Batman 2, the Batman Part 2 villain, Clayface. That's the rumor. It's going to be a live action Clayface. That could be great. Who knows? But you know how these movies are. There's multiple villains. So to be one of the villains.
Yeah.
Dave G, I thought about grabbing Pig Killer, but it's nowhere near accurate to the real life.
Canadian no. That's why I did the quotes, whatever. It's what I hear is nothing. It's nowhere accurate, whatever. But they kind of use that as the inspiration for the film, whatever. Like you watch that movie because Jake Busey's playing a fucking serial killer,
Yeah.
And
Steve saying that's the word on the street, Wrangler. They say Keegan or Kogan, his Joker is coming back too. Yeah, the Barry Keegan or whatever, the guy that played the Joker and the Batman's coming back too. Which that'd be awesome, I thought. Sidney Eubanks, The Descent 1 and 2, your thoughts?
Yeah, dude, I love them, man. I love both of them. I watched one a lot more than two. Johnny got it.
Johnny, what the hell did you just do?
I swear I didn't do
anything.
Yeah, I love part one, man. It's a claustrophobic, fucking scary, fucking movie, and that was a great fucking theater experience. I told that story before. We had some exchange students we used to get during the summer. We had a German exchange student that speak any English, and we took him to go see The Descent. Dude, and the first word of English he said the whole trip here, he looked at me and went, "Folk." We were watching that movie, and it was a blast. He loved it. But man, Descent was a great theater experience. I like 2 as well. I just don't watch it as much. I haven't watched 2 in a while. But I'm a big fan of both of them.
I like 2 too. Picks up right where, and there's an alternate ending in 2. I think that, if I remember right, it's pretty fucking dark.
I think 1's got an alternate ending as well. I think.
Yeah, they both do. Yeah. Dave, it's called The Pig Farm, 2011. All Wrangler, anyone seen Madison County Slasher? No, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that.
2011. Steve's talking about Thief. Yeah, I think it's great. Maybe it's an old man thing. Maybe that's an old man. Like, you got to be.
I think it is, dude. I think it's a movie made for us.
Yeah, made for. I don't think it. Maybe the younger generation maybe doesn't get it. Like, why would you? Like, if you had to ask questions at the end of that, like, I don't know. Maybe you just didn't pay attention, or maybe you're a fucking idiot, or maybe you're a little pussy. I don't know what to tell you. But it's not. Like I don't know how you don't understand exactly what's happening as it's happening in the movie. That's just my opinion.
For someone who's probably like a professional welder,
I was thinking to say it. If you beat me,
I was just curious, man. Like whether like someone was like a TIG welder or whatever, man. Like the final safe at the end where like John is using this fucking wand on this fucking welder that's like 30 foot long. Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, what those guys would think about that. Like, just is that
real? Yeah, I would have to think it's real. You know, I mean, just from knowing Michael Mann a little bit, that you would think it's a real thing, and it has to be so fucking long because the heat's so goddamn hot.
Exactly, you're seeing lava, like the fucking shit's like turning into like
melting lava. The fucking door. Yeah, they didn't do that shit. They wouldn't do that shit. That's also one of my favorite scenes. Once they finally get in, they get the diamonds, and he sits back, and he just starts reaching for his cigarettes, and he's just like, you can tell what he's feeling. The work's over.
Dude, he's just sitting back. He's just dirty as fuck. He's like, God, I was like, it's 200 fucking degrees in there sitting there.
Yeah. He's like, God, it was all worth it. It's all done. Scalder, what's going on?
What's up, Scalder?
Sydney, movie recommendations. See No Evil, 2006, directed by Gregory Dark. Kane.
Mhm.
Yeah, just Kane. Christina Vidal, horror 3 out of 5. I remember it being pretty good. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember it being pretty good.
Yeah, I think I've seen that in theaters. I think it's the only time I've ever seen it. It's been a while. But
Everybody's saying hey to Scalder.
I think they got sequels to that movie as well. I think I'm not sure.
They do.
If or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
WWF films. Guys saying the original Killer Elite is on par with Thief.
Ooh, like it's good, but man, like as to put it on the same plateau as Thief.
It's
That's
Peck
all.
and Paul, right?
It's Beckenball, and like I said, when I got it from the Scorpion cell, the first thing I did was like just text you really quick, and I was like, "Hey, like this is worth my fucking $18. Like I enjoyed the fuck out of this." That movie starts up, you see a great friendship between the Cons, and it goes bad so quick, and you're just like, it's James Caan and Robert Duvall, if I'm not mistaken, because I had a few cocktails. But man, that's a really good movie. But if I had to take my pick between those and Thief, dude, like Thief is right.
I know James Caan says Thief is the best thing he's ever done.
Amen to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that. I say this all the time. If you like Thief a lot, check out Way of the Gun with the veil under the eyes, guys. That it's a sequel to Thief, and you'll see what I mean when you watch it.
What you say was Blue Veil, or what was it that you said was a sequel to Heat, basically?
The Way of the Gun. Called
No,
Way
it
of
was
the
a
Gun.
second site release we were talking about, like Jesus Christ. I'll go back on
Oh,
it.
you're talking about Blue Ruin.
Blue Ruin. There you go.
Yeah, Blue Room was good. I like that.
Blue Ruin's a good one. But yeah, to me, if you watch Thief and then you watch The Way of the Gun right after it, it does feel like a sequel to Thief. To me. But
Oh shit.
Scalder, Thief is another case where Arrow Standard Edition lost a disc, the theatrical cut compared to the limited edition. Damn. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Scream Factory 4K of it, Steve. Killer Elite. Everybody saying what's up to Scalder. Chris C, what's going on?
Hold on, Chris.
Talk about The Descent. You was talking about those hand motions you made that.
Do it again. Let's see if it picks it up.
Yeah. For some reason, Anthony can do it, and it
Yeah.
worked. Yeah.
Well,
Somehow.
I think Anthony films on a phone. I thought that's why he could do it. But Johnny film, you got a MacBook, don't you? Or
Yeah,
MacBook Air?
this is
Our computer?
my computer, yeah.
Yes, I don't know what picks it up. I don't know.
Maybe we can all do it. Who knows? Let's see. Guy is saying it's on Max. Yeah, it's a Sam Peckinpah movie.
Robert Duvall. There you go.
Yeah, Chris, it's a winner. I think you'll like it. I think anybody would like it.
Oh man, like you already got it right there on the shelf, Chris. Like, dude, like stop doing this to yourself. Stop hesitating. Go watch that fucking movie.
Put hair on your shoulders. It's freaking James Caan. Make a man out of you. Yep, it's a winner, I think. It's the Thief show. Sydney Thief is awesome. Love the soundtrack. Tangerine Dream. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot of shit back in the day.
That score fit perfectly too.
Yeah, shut that cunt's mouth before I go over there and fuck start her head. That's from The Way of the Gun. Yeah, it's one of the opening lines. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, we're on to the last one here.
Shit. Let me get my fucking notes out here. All right. I know, like most people, we're probably a little burnout, on zombie films. Hold on, goddamn it. I was enjoying the fucking chat.
I was prepared for this.
All right. So this one here, I'm a big fan of zombie films. There's been so many of them, so sometimes I get a little tired of them. If you're tired of zombie films, give this one a shot. Because this is a really fucking good one, and it's called The Horde.
I've heard of
Now, this is a IFC Midnight release back when they just had a streaming channel, and this was a release that was this is a overseas release. This is a French film, and it's got basically what I put on here is directed by somebody I can't fucking pronounce, and basically it's got a lot of fucking French people in it. So there you go. That's the cast. I wasn't sure what they expect watching this. I thought it was going to go win, and of course it's subtitled. It's in French. It's in French. Movie starts off. You're at a funeral. You got a bunch of guys. Whatever you can tell, they're like a tight knit group. They're cops. Somebody in their a family member, somebody gets killed by this gang, whatever of guys, whatever they're held up in this big skyrise. They're going to get revenge. They go to this building where this guy's pretty much got this whole fucking skyrise building pretty much locked down. That's kind of their hideout. They go in, they start shooting people and causing havoc, whatever. So you got the cops, and then you got the bad guys. They're in this building, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. Some of the guys gets killed, and they start fucking coming back to life. And the fucking special effects are really good. The zombies are done really well in this. The action is really good in this. Like I said, it's a subtitled film, but you really fucking care about these characters. Are really good fucking actors. Nobody you're gonna fucking know, but this guy right here. Let's just say that he would kick Rick Grimes' ass. This motherfucker right here, whatever, has a scene. I don't want to fight. I want to talk about it so fucking bad, but you gotta experience it. Let's just say that when he breaks bad on the zombies, he breaks bad on the fucking zombies, and it's a really well fucking shot scene. A lot of action in this, a lot of great fucking characters, a lot of good fucking gore. And then just when you think whatever, they can't get any better, whatever, they introduce this guy. He's like he lives in one of the fucking apartments on one of the only residents still in this fucking skyrise because the bad guys are pretty much taking it over. He comes out, he's got a fucking axe. They got him at the end of this alley, whatever, like he's this Joe fucking Billy badass. And he comes a little bit closer, and it's a guy about my size, a little bit older than me, big old fucking beer gut. His belly's hanging out the bottom of his wife beater shirt. And he's like an old war veteran, and he's got this big fucking axe. He has just been fucking zombies up. He's got blood all over him. He's laughing. All this is just like back in the war or whatever. And he's just having a fucking ball. He has nothing to live for. His wife's dead, and he's just fucking up these zombies. And he's my favorite character in the whole fucking show, the whole fucking movie. And let's just say by the time this movie's over with, the ending is it's a dark fucking ending. Let's just say that. I had a blast with it. I'm going to recommend if you're a fan of zombie films, if you're burnt out on zombie films, give this one a shot because it's done a little differently, whatever, and the characters are done really well, and it's a fucking blast. But I was not expecting to like this as much as I did. This is probably going to get, if I was going to do a top 5 zombie movie right now, this would be in the top 5. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah, man.
Bold statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, it was done really well, and this guy here, man, let's just say his character development at the end, it's worth the price of admission. He fucking breaks fucking bad at the end of it. So
and you said that's French from what year?
Yeah, it's French. And
So
like I said, you gotta watch the subtitles.
Go ahead and order it.
what year? What year did you say it was from?
It came out in 2009.
Yeah, it's still in that French horror wave. Still in that range.
Yeah.
Frontiers and Inside and High Tension. They just had
the plot of the movie reads: an end of the world battle between gangsters, cops, and zombies. So you're gonna have a good time. Very well done zombie flick. Man, that's some cool shots in that movie.
In my opinion, I think you could write a better tagline than that for that film if you really thought about it just for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Bittersweet, man. Like we could have. I'll say this: you guys could have done like a last 10 or last 20, man. And I would have went the whole way with you for sure, man. I've enjoyed the hell out of this. Thank you guys for having me back, man. Of course, it's bittersweet. We're going down to the last one. I'm like, fuck, it's almost over, and like, so that sucks, man. But hey, thank you guys, man, for letting me come back and have fucking fun with you guys, man. Like I look forward to this all week, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Fucking feels like nothing's changed, man. It's like just right back with family. Like it's just familiar place, man. So it's so fucking good, man. So
Alan's still bitching about the same actresses.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Even though like we've done like 2 streams now, and plus like me and you done the one thing Monday night, Brad. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. Brad, Alan's only said "fuck imprint" like one time, and I'm kind of disappointed by that a little bit. And I'm just like, he should have like bragged a little bit more, but I got it. You got
to grow. You got to grow as a person.
Look at you, man. Look at you. Holy fuck. I'm gonna hold this up, man. This is I know everybody's gonna be like, come on, dude, like really you're gonna hold that up? But it's one of the last films that I've watched, and me and my wife enjoy the hell out of this. Everybody loves the pretty boy in this movie. I can give a fuck less about him. And I know he's deceased and probably shouldn't speak so fucking ill of him. I've never cared for him. Never cared for the fucking 18 movies that he did for Fast and the Furious. I don't care about him. However, his older brother in this movie fucking sells it for me, and has none other than fucking Joyride with Steve Zahn.
Oh yeah.
That guy sells it.
Yeah, let's talk about Joyride. So fucking good, dude.
Yeah, if you look at that cover, Steve Zahn looks to be a little taller than Paul Walker. It's funny how that worked out. It's the older brother's about a foot and a half shorter.
If you watch the exchange between these two, like the most of the time, other than Paul Walker picking him up from jail, is the only time we really see them out of the car. And then when they walk into the diner naked, I got that. Like we see a little bit of their characters out of the car, and then at the hotel where the girl's being duct taped down to the chair. I hate to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen it by now, like fuck you, dude. It's just too bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure everybody's seen this fucking movie. I think Steve Zahn is one of the best characters of this fucking movie.
He is the best character, I think.
I'm gonna gimp it, man.
I'm gonna gimp it. I'm not gonna just walk in there.
Fucking what was it like? They were supposed to walk into the restaurant and order like what was it like 15 cheeseburgers or 20 cheeseburgers or some shit. I just thought that was like the most clever shit. And anytime Christmas comes around and like we're decorating their Christmas tree and somebody breaks out the candy canes, like I always do the whole thing like candy cane.
Dude, every time a candy cane is mentioned in this house, somebody now says it. Somebody says it.
Thanks to this fucking movie right here. That's an impact for you right there. But I love the hell out of this. I've probably seen this movie at least 20, 30 times, man. Every time I just go over to the shelf, I'll see the Spawn sitting on the side of it. I usually pull off the shelf just for the fuck of it to put on in the background. And it was actually nice because the wife was like, God, I haven't seen this movie in a couple of years. Let's just sit down and watch it. And it's one of those nights where we just sit down, watch the opening all the way to the end credits. And it was just like, the film holds up. It's fucking great. The soundtrack to me is a little bit outdated because they're playing like really early 2000s, especially when they go to the college. They're playing some fucking horrible music to me, which is just like you might as well put that on mute till they get back in the car and get back on the road. That's the only bad side of this fucking movie to me. Everything else is pretty good. I love the whole fact that the hotel too, where he's got the string wrapped around the shotgun trigger to the doorknob. I thought that shit was really fucking clever. And
this is gonna be hilarious.
That's a great flick. I really hope, and probably somebody already has, and I've just slept on it. This is the only release I have of this movie. If some other company puts this out as a limited edition set, makes a 4K of it, I'll be on this shit. Like Alan said, it'd be a fucking $2 piece of ass in Tijuana. It's a bald ass.
Yeah, they need to go and just do a fucking box set, put all the sequels in it. Give us a box set. A nice box set with all the movies in
that already.
You know,
definitely an obvious Scream Factory one, I would think.
You think so, man?
Yeah, the movie's fucking banger, man. When they're fucking doing the CB prank, whatever, just being brothers going back and forth, you know, it's gold, man. It's gold. I've never felt like such a pussy when the guy in the ice truck chasing them.
Yeah. I got a gun, man.
I got a credit card.
I got a
MasterCard.
Yeah, that was it, man.
It's really strong. I mean, I think it's PG-13, and nobody even mentions that. I mean, it's got to be a top 5 PG-13.
It's R.
Oh, is it R? Okay.
Because the language, yeah,
Must be the language, yeah.
Aspects in that, yeah. But fuck, man, I wish.
He asked why you were in here alone with my girlfriend. And which is a pretty fucking good question.
Yeah. Another good Paul Walker movie, kind of, I mean, it's a lot darker in that movie, whatever, but it's called Running Scared.
Running Scared.
Dude, that hockey scene when they fucking crack him in the head with that fucking hockey puck. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
It's hard to
I
watch.
agree, man. You know what, Alan? You brought that up, man. I completely forgot about that movie. And no doubt, that is Joyride. Running Scared. Running Scared is definitely. I'm not one of those big fucking Tammy and the T-Rex fans like everybody else is from the old era and all that shit. Like that movie's kind of I need some substances to really enjoy that fucking movie. But Joyride and Running Scared, man, those are two good films. I'm sorry, but Fast and Furious and whatever, man, you can take that shit and throw it in the garbage, man. Joyride and Running Scared, like you said, I think that's the pinnacle of that dude's career right there, man.
Yeah.
This is a great point Scholars making. Instead of just using Ted Levine's voice, he should have played Rusty Nail too. I thought so too.
Yeah.
I think that kind of detracts a little bit from it. But other than that, I had no complaints.
The cornfield scene in that movie too, man. That fucking scene's so intense, man, because you don't get to really see shit. It's just people in a panic running in the dark in a cornfield. Only light to support it is the headlights by that fucking truck.
Yeah.
That's a great setup, man. Like I love it.
Man, I just apologize. Well, yeah, I didn't know you were sorry, and then he just leaves just to torment him later. He knows they're picking up the girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic, man. I love it.
Screen Factory, get your head out of your ass. Okay, so I don't want to say I cheated. Maybe I cheated, but the rules are very clear. You talk about the last 5 movies. I had watched this movie, Nara, whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's a Scandinavian piece of shit. And I don't even want to talk about it for 2 seconds. I hated it. It was nonsense. That's the worst $5 ever spent.
Hold on a second, before you go for that. Hold on. What year is that from?
2000, I don't know, 18. It's a very, very modern movie, but basically it's about a mission to Mars. The planet's ruined, that whole thing, and the global elite take this like basically galactic cruise liner to Mars, and it sounds a lot better than it is. It's not good, in my opinion. But anyway, I watched The Crazies, and that got me thinking about this other movie. And I thought, well, if I watch this today, I can, push this other turd out of the way. That's what I did. I watched It Comes at Night because I was watching The Crazies, and it kind of put me in mind of that a little bit. This is 2017. Basically, what this is an apocalyptic pandemic, but a serious pandemic where people literally get sick and their eyes turn black and they fucking die. It's very, very serious. Any kind of contamination, and this guy here lives in the woods with his wife and son, and somebody tries to break into the house, and they basically kidnap them and find out that they have food to trade for water. They have water, they need food, and they start to work that out between them, and they learn to trust each other, and then they start to function and cohabitate together. But all the while, there seems to be some sort of force outside. But what it turns out to be is the son is starting to become ill, and he's starting to get the sickness, and that's what seems to be happening outside. But this movie was marketed terribly. This made it look, if you watch the marketing,
trailer ever.
The trailer makes it look like a monster movie. It's really not. It's called It Comes at Night. Obviously, fear, paranoia, whatever is what they mean comes at night, because the night falls, and their big fear is a home invasion, and it'll be somebody that's infected, and it'll get everybody sick, and everybody will die. Because if you get this virus, you die from it. There's no getting around it. And there's a lot of paranoia and almost like The Thing vibes throughout it. Like nobody trusts anybody, and it's just very, very dark and bleak, and very, very serious and visceral. I really enjoyed it. And watching The Crazies made me think of this one. And you got that Riley Keough chick, Elvis's granddaughter. You get a shot there of what happens when people get sick. And it's just a very solid movie. I find it a very grounded apocalyptic movie. And I do like Joel Edgerton's character in it, as he's, just taking it 1,000% serious, but he's also a good man, and he's trying to be fair, even though this is not a fair situation. He's trying to be a good guy, but at the same time, you cross the line, obviously, that it's a zero tolerance policy when it comes to his family. I appreciated that. Also, it just, I just found it enjoyable, especially the theater. I saw it in the theater, and I was a little let down in the theater because I was expecting a big monster reveal or almost a Shyamalan type thing, like maybe there's a hard twist, but no, it's just a pandemic movie, and it comes at night, meaning fear and paranoia, I guess. So if you haven't seen it, pick it up cheap, give it a shot, watch it digitally. If you're Contagion, this, a few movies like this, you can, if you're into The Road, yeah, good.
Joel Edgerton, by the way, another underrated actor, I think.
Very
everything he's done.
Look at you go,
man. Great warrior.
Did you make any kind of symbolism between the art that they depict in that movie in multiple different frames compared to the tone of the movie? Like, what is that about?
That I don't know. That'd be a WTF. But they talk about it, and there's a making of on this. They talk a little bit about that art, and it's a long making of. And I kind of wanted to leave it a little bit, like I wanted to watch it and with that in mind and try to put it together myself. But yeah, there's a big art piece in this movie that's basically the end of the world. And, it's almost the end of the world in stages. I don't know. There's something with that, like what Johnny was saying. There's something about that painting that's very poignant with this movie. And yeah, I definitely want to check that out with that in mind. But yeah, I kind of just ran through it to kind of push that fucking Scandinavian turd out of the way and get just not have to fucking talk about it, because it sounds a lot better than it is. Let's put it that way. All right, let's catch up with the chat and get out of here. It's late already. Chris C's just watch Fighting Back. I haven't seen Fighting Back.
Yeah.
Dave G, never heard of Thief. Is that Criterion the definitive edition? It definitely is.
I would definitely love to have the release that Arrow did with that slipcover and booklet and everything, just to kind of, because like you just said earlier, I think that was that Skolder? He said that, yeah, he dropped the disc. That was one of those things where Arrow dropped the disc. I would love to have that original release with the slipcover and the extra disc and all that shit. Maybe one day, because I always chase down the old Arrow shit. But it's just one of those things where that disc, you'd like to get it with a slipcover. It's like $80 and higher. So it's
The
Well, that's one of those things. As soon as you buy it, they announce the big deluxe 4K edition of it.
Arrow,
The day after.
Arrow or Criterion does a re-release. Criterion's done a lot of re-releases. A lot of re-releases happening from Criterion, so it wouldn't shock me if they did that on 4K.
Yep.
Wrangler likes Horde.
Yeah, you sold that one, man. Like, that sounds so fucking good. Especially whenever you said, like, out of all the zombie fucking films that we all end up loving, especially in, you know, loving horror so much, you put that shit in your top 5 right now because it made such that impact.
Yeah, when it got everyone, I was like, man, that was fucking good. And I was expecting to be middle of the road or shitty. And then I was like, damn, that was good. Like I said, I like zombie films, but you know, they're a little played out. You see a ton of them, and how many different ways can you do it, whatever. And this was a cool way to do a zombie flick. You know, it was well done.
Glad they're trying shit.
And there's something else about the movie. I meant to talk about this. This was the best part. You know, in a zombie movie, you got to shoot a motherfucker in the head.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, these motherfuckers can't figure that out. They did shoot a couple of zombies in the head. You know, they figured that out. You thought they figured it out. And they start shooting this horde of zombies, and they're shooting them in the chest and the leg. Shoot them in the fucking head. They go down. And you got this guy, whatever. And this is the other thing. There's a couple of scenes where, and you don't see this a lot in zombie films, where you get full goddamn bar fights. Well, these motherfuckers just beating the piss out of the zombies. This one guy's a real good fighter, whatever. He's kicking him and beating the shit out of him. Of course, the zombie ain't going down because he's a fucking zombie. But this guy is just beating the ever-loving piss out of this zombie. And, you know, there's like 2 of them. Is this one guy and 2 zombies. And he's Bruce Lee in the fuck out of these 2 zombies. It's a great fucking scene. And there's a few other scenes where they just get in fist fights with these zombies. And it's like, what are you going to do? This motherfucker's dead. You know? But like I said, it makes for some great action scenes. So like I said, it's the blast.
There's that tagline right there. The zombie movie where the zombies get Bruce Lee to fuck.
Yeah. It's like they're wasting bullets on this fucking horse. Shoot them in the fucking head. And like, I don't know. That's the whole thing about it that kind of aggravated me a little bit. But it made it fun.
Chris C. Criterion has Repulsion as well. That's a great one for Polanski. I've heard of it.
Yeah, me too. And I've watched it. And I'm sorry, man. Me and Polanski, we just ain't on the same planet.
Alan loves Polanski.
I think there's only one other person who's probably agreed with me about this fucking so-called classic movie that just everybody loves, and that's Rosemary's Baby. And me and Alan are just like, okay, look at its eyes. Oh my god, you know,
look at its fur.
Nothing better than a slow burn movie that just does not pay off.
It doesn't do shit, and it's just like Mia Farrow,
Rosemary, fuck her baby.
Yeah, even back in the day, man, like it's as traditionalist and you know everything else. Like you look at Mia Farrow, like there's no TNA, there's nothing for a guy to really go on for that movie. Like, just if we're gonna be honest, it is fucking slow burn as shit. And the only thing I'm seeing is just these nosy ass neighbors, like, here, honey, drink this fucking poison milkshake. And it's like I'm gonna watch them turn up to the apartment to do this 12 times. And there's no payoff. Fuck that, man.
And I bought that fucking Criterion out of print. I think I paid like $60 for it, whatever it was. But I heard motherfuckers with their pinkies sticking out, whatever, said, "Oh, this movie's fantastic. It's a classic."
Sure.
There's so many other movies that I would step over to that movie to get to. I mean,
it's such a great film, but the director of that movie has been convicted of so many counts of sodomy, where he left a certain country to avoid conviction. And it's still like pretty much one of those things where they're like, that's out of our jurisdiction. Like, fuck that, man.
Still makes movies.
I watched that down with Ryan, and he had seen it before, and it got over with, and I bitched for 15 minutes. I was like, fuck that movie. I'll never watch that again. I didn't like it at all. So,
And now there's a 4K.
yeah. I need this other one I got.
It'll sell like hotcakes, man. I'm telling you. It's just that title alone, man. Everybody goes for it.
Yeah.
It's what it is. You like what you like.
I'd take a check, but you also know that I've shit on Criterion for years. So it's evened out, probably. Sydney movie recommendations: The Son of No One, 2011. Dito Montiel, Al Pacino, Channing Tatum, Tracy Morgan.
That's a weird cast.
That's an
I know.
that's
Tracy Morgan.
Al Pacino, Channing Tatum, and Tracy Morgan. Sydney likes Joyride. Ben saying Rusty Nail's a great bad guy. I love the sequels. I love how the sequels make him more like a slasher. The third Joyride is just straight slasher. All the kills involving 18-wheeler type things. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't even know they made sequels.
Yeah, I need to watch the sequels. I really haven't seen the sequels.
All of us need to, because I don't think we haven't seen it. That's for sure. None of the sequels.
Joyride, Chrissy.
Where are you going further? As far as Sydney goes, like with the rating, have you guys ever seen him go like 4.5 or 5?
Maybe like Training Day. I think he gave like a 4.5.
Nice. Okay.
Very few movies.
Anything else you could think of other than Training Day?
I think pretty much Training Day was the only one I can remember.
Yeah, 3.5 is it's a movie that's solid. He likes whatever. If you get something less than a 3.5 from him, he hated it.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of picked up on.
So pinkies down, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think Running Scared feels almost like a Second Sight. But you would think either one of those could be Scream Factories, but I don't know what's holding it up. Especially now with him dead, maybe they want a ton for the rights.
Could be right on that. Yeah.
And those fall underneath the shit that Disney owns. It might be Fox titles. I don't know who put those out.
Oh, well, this one right here, I think that is 20th Century Fox right there.
So it might be in the fucking Lockdown Armageddon.
There's a lot of driving in it, and he gets in accidents. They might think that's in poor taste. Chris C, great stream. Okay, cool, man. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Chris. Much love, brother.
Cindy Eubanks, the one Paul Walker movie that is very emotional is his movie Hours, 2013.
Is that the one where he got trapped after the fucking in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Storm? Yeah, that's a solid flick. He had to keep cranking that thing to keep the baby alive. Oh yeah, that's a solid flick, man.
I forgot about it, man. Like that
was one of his last movies, I think.
Dude, this fucking Sidney Eubanks guy, man. Like I can't even think of this shit. Like he's come off the top of his head. I'm like, God damn.
He's the most friend, man. He gives some good shit. Always gives a good thing to talk about.
Sydney, It Comes at Night, 3.5 out of, or 3 out of 5. Good movie.
All right.
About right. Wild Wrangler, Comes at Night. I liked it. Yeah.
How about this? Yeah. Give us 3 movies that are 4s or higher.
Yeah, how about that, Sydney? 3 movies that are higher than a 4.
I want to see it. That's for sure, man. Because that guy's got me intrigued. I'm just like, damn, man. Like, just like I said, man. We did our last stream too, and I saw him like in the comment section. I was just like, man, he's like not copy and pasting. He's not going the cheap way out. Like he's just putting he's putting the fucking director, the cast in it. And it's like, hey, I gave it this.
He's like Rain Man. He's just typing away. He's counting his toothpicks over there.
Hey, man, I dig it, man.
All Wrangler's fucking wasted.
I don't like him like a Turbo Tiger. There's nothing about this Turbo.
We love you, Wild Wrangler. We love you.
Scalder on paper, German release is the best. 5 disc, 2 blue, 3 DVD, 3 cuts of the film. All extras from the Arrow release. Region B locked though, and Criterion has its own exclusive extras. So he's talking about the Thief release.
God damn, that was a 5-disc set?
Apparently.
Dude,
there's a German release of Thief, apparently. 5 discs.
Wow.
3 cuts. All the extras in the Arrow release, and it's Region B lock. So Criterion has its own exclusive extras, but only 1 cut of the film.
Wonder what German company put it out. Was it NSW or because NSW, they kind of like took over the media books for the German market.
Sculder, if you could send me that release on Instagram.
Wow. Fucking 5 discs, dude. What are we sleeping on?
Yeah, that's a lot of content.
It's a lot.
Big Scene featurette. The book Rosemary's Baby is amazing. The movie is nearly useless if you haven't read it.
Okay, that's fair.
Sydney Eubanks, Training Day, Purple Rain, Scarface, 4 out of 5. Thief, 4 out of 5.
It looks like OFDB Fireworks. I've seen this release before. Let me full screen for a minute.
Yep.
I haven't seen that release now.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. This is the German release. I've never heard of the company. It's OFDB Filmworks. It's the 5 disc Ultimate Edition.
Now,
Be it.
do I have to do a pay in 4 for that, or do I have to sell plasma to get that?
It's $55.99 in Monopoly money, whatever fuck this is over there.
That's like 20 US.
They had two grants what they got over there.
As long as we're not going as donating bone marrow, like we're good over here.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. And it's like you can buy it from Amazon Germany.
Sydney Eubanks, Rosemary's Baby, 1.5 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Steve saying, I think Rosemary's Baby was intended to play off Mia Farrow's paranoia and isolation more than it was. Yeah, it's definitely that kind of, more than anything else. I get what you're saying. It's her fear. And she's such a lamb-like, I guess that's what it is, you know.
I was on my phone. I said Eubanks put his 4 out of 5 movies out there.
Yeah, Training Day, Purple Rain, Scarface, and Thief, 4 out of 5.
This is just curious, right? Everybody's still watching it. Between, if you had to pick one, Sydney, Training Day, Purple Rain, Scarface, or Thief, out of those 4 movies, which one would you kind of pick to take to the desert with you kind of situations? I'm just curious. I know he's probably sitting there going like, why is this motherfucker back? Like he's asking hard questions. This is pointless.
Yeah. See how you like it.
I'm probably taking Scarface. If I got to take it to Deserted Island, I'm probably taking Scarface.
Yeah, me too. And I'm kind of surprised he put Purple Rain in the midst between Training Day and Scarface because, I mean, come on, it's Purple Rain. It's like you put a fucking Prince movie in between like those 2 flicks. But hey, I appreciate the fuck out of it though.
Pick Training Day.
All right, you shot me in the ass.
The only downside about City that I can talk about is that goddamn thumbnail he's got of New England Patriots. So, New England Patriots, I still have fucking cold sweat dreams for them some bitches after that Super Bowl.
Probably not gonna like this, but that's my favorite team in the NFL. Wouldn't have Tom Brady anyway, but I just lost a lot of respect from Allen right there by saying that shit out loud. But it's the truth.
Yeah, but they won't be good again for 20 more years, so it's fine. So
it's all good. Just remember, my boy wasn't.
Or Atlanta's never been good, so I can't say.
My boy wasn't deflating footballs there to win every Super Bowl because I mean he's only got a ring for each fucking finger.
You can't deny he was one of the best that's ever played the game, but man, yeah, he broke my heart.
I don't mean, hey man, you stay true to fucking Falcons, man, which is fucking crazy to me because I was just like, wow, man,
I've been a battered life for 40 years.
You know, I got a fucking tattoo on my fucking right fucking leg of the fucking logo, dude. I'm locked in. So.
Sydney saying Denzel Washington is it's supposed to be Denzel, but at this point you're Denzel. Denzel Washington is my favorite actor. It's pretty good.
Y'all go watch Ricochet, man. If you haven't seen Ricochet with him and John Lithgow, so fucking nobody ever.
Man, and
we need to release that fucking movie.
I like The Fallen too. I think he's great in The Fallen.
Yeah. Time on my side.
You know, it's out of the spectrum of that.
There you go, Sydney.
I put on
thanks for throwing the score out there. I appreciate that. Dude, the halftime of that fucking Super Bowl right before goddamn Lady Gaga ruined my life. Yeah. She started singing and my whole world went to shit. I was online trying. I was going to buy fucking hats, shirts, banners, whatever the fuck. Atlanta was finally going to win a fucking Super Bowl. That was probably my one shot in my lifetime. It was probably the best thing they ever had. But man, it was a heartbreaker. That was a long drive back from South Florida. They had a 6-hour drive with the next morning. Not a word was spoken in the car the whole way. It was intense. I remember my daughter saying that when the game ended, I went outside on my son's balcony. We were in his apartment. We all scattered. My daughter just sat there reading her book. She didn't know what to say. She said the fucking air out of the room left. It was a dark moment. So,
what do you guys think about? Sydney was talking about, especially Denzel being his fucking favorite actor. What did you guys think about Inside Man?
I thought it was pretty good with Clive Owen.
Inside.
You seen that one?
I think I have.
The whole thing where he's like, "How do you expect to get out of here? I'm gonna walk right out the front door." And damn, if he doesn't at the end of the movie.
Yeah, Clive Owen robs a
I
bank.
looked at the trailer. I want to say I've seen that in theaters, whatever. That's what I'm thinking it is. I looked at the trailer.
It was right before that 2010 era where like box offices were going crazy, especially for the Denzel flicks. What was the movie that he did too? It was like a weird ass movie. It was Deja Vu or some shit around the same time.
Man on Fire. I need to rewatch both of those. I haven't seen those in forever.
Man on Fire is fucking great, man. That's another fucking great movie, man.
I think Deja Vu is a remake, and I think it's been remade a couple times. If that's what I'm thinking of.
That's like a sequel or two.
Either that or Man on Fire has been remade a couple times. I can't remember which one.
I think it was Deja Vu, but yeah, Man on Fire is a fucking the fact that he's suicidal through that whole movie, and you can just kind of see him what he's doing with the cartridges as he loads his gun is fucking insane, man.
Another fucking movie where he acts his fucking ass off is fucking John Q.
Yeah, man, I just saw Wild Wrangler right there, man.
Dude,
For the
John
Suns,
Q, that's the acting motherfucker. That's
right.
James Woods, man. That's just a great movie.
Am I thinking of that where he goes into the hospital and he's trying to get
his son needs a heart transplant, and his insurance won't cover him, and so he says, "Fuck y'all." James Woods is a heart surgeon.
You know, that was one of those movies, man, where I first met my wife. I'd never seen it, and I think she was the one who got me to sit down and watch that shit. And she was like, "John Q's a really good movie," and what is that? The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. And I watched that Will Smith movie, and I'm like, I fucking hate him. That movie's garbage. Throw that in the garbage. Throw that in the fucking. Just throw it in the yard. That's no good. But John Q was a different fucking story, man. Like that was to see his character break down as hard as he did over his fucking son. It's like, oh, you can't help but kind of like water up a little bit.
Then, my son's not going to bury, or I'm not going to bury my son. He's going to bury me. That whole fucking speech,
John
man.
Q.
Best thing he's ever done, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I was saying the Manchurian Candidate remake is my favorite Denzel Washington movie.
I need to watch that, Brad. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that or not.
4K for Kino's coming.
Yeah, I know it's coming out. I'm going to grab it. So I may stream it first, but I'm sure I'll just
very, very dark movie.
There's a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, there you go.
Solid.
Damn, man, he comes with fire too, man. Like you can't really retract none of his shit that he's gonna go for over it. Like I just figured he's just gonna throw some random French film out there. I'm like, all right, fuck this.
It's usually like thrillers with us, isn't he? But yeah, that's we ran over 3 hours. We were expecting to do 2 hours. We did 3. But appreciate everybody coming out on Friday night, staying late, and yeah, I'm sure we got other stuff coming up. Alan's got stuff coming. Johnny's got stuff coming. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I got some shit coming.
Figure out the next thing.
I got about 10 videos I could film. I just need to get my ass in there and film them.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys so much, man, for, like I said, fucking just having me. I look forward to it all week, man. Like,
absolutely. We need to do another WTF at some point, bro.
Yeah, we'll come up with something, I'm sure.
Man,
all right, guys. Pick a movie. We'll do it. And I've hit the button. Catch you guys later.
Bye, guys.